What's up guys, this is your favorite fanfic YouTuber, the Fanfic Majesty, and welcome to another amazing video. You can follow me on Patreon for exclusive stories.
Reborn as a Saiyan. 1 rupee. Chapter 1 I became Goku. Bowsy Mountain, in the sky. A dinosaur was flying and hunting. Suddenly, a white light flashed by. And hit the dinosaur directly. The dinosaur's fat body trembled, its eyes rolled back, and it fell rapidly. Its huge body kept bouncing back and forth on the treetops, breaking branches. However, before the dinosaur's body landed, a short child with a tail behind him catapulted and jumped up. And jumped onto the treetops in a few steps, caught the falling dinosaur, flipped over and landed, and carried it away. The set of movements was smooth and unhurried. A moment later, smoke rose from the top of the mountain, and the air was filled with the aroma of barbecue. It smells so good, it should be cooked, right? The little boy tore off a piece of meat above the fire. And put it into his mouth impatiently. Wow, it's so delicious, Grandpa, try it. The old man opposite him also tore off a piece of meat and tasted it. After just one bite, the grandfather immediately showed a look of surprise. It's so delicious. It's crispy on the outside and tender on the inside, sizzling with oil. This roasted dinosaur smells so good. The little boy also smiled with satisfaction. He pulled 2 roasted dragon legs from the roasted dinosaur on the fire and started to eat them. While eating, he sighed. Roasted dinosaur meat is more fragrant than roasted fish. It would be great if I could kill dinosaurs every day. The grandfather looked at him with a smile. Eat slowly, no one will snatch it from you, don't choke. The grandfather is Master Roshi's disciple, Son Gohan. And this child is the protagonist of the Dragon Ball world. Saiyan Kakarot, and Son Gohan gave him the earthling name Son Goku. But he is not the original Goku, he is a reborn person. He has the soul of a modern person. He has naturally watched Dragon Ball in his previous life and knows Goku's mission. This world is full of dangers. Advertisement. Without the protection of the powerful Goku, the earth will be destroyed sooner or later. Saiyan talents are actually only stronger than those of Earthlings, but compared to universe people, talents like Son Goku are actually very lame. Starting low, growing slowly, and not being able to survive in the universe. In the later stage, if he does not transform, he will not be able to compete with those strong people. For many years, where has the Saiyan race produced strong people? So he was exiled to Earth, and Son Goku, who has a pure heart, grew to the height of the universe level. Of course, Broly, who has a mutant physique, is an exception. That person is born to be a cheater, and ordinary people can't compare. After little Goku recognized the current situation, after being able to walk and talk by himself, he began to beg Gohan to take him to practice. There is no way. If you want to survive, you have to become stronger quickly, at least not worse than the original Son Goku. But the difficulty lies in terms of comprehension, combat IQ, or obsession with martial arts, he is not as good as the original Son Goku. Without a strong interest in martial arts, he doesn't think he can do better than the martial arts fanatic Son Goku. But everyone has his own advantages. Before he was reborn, he was a very competitive modern man. In order not to fall behind others, he started to compete in school and became even more competitive at work. Although he lived at the bottom of society, he was not inferior to the people around him throughout his life. Unfortunately, he had a heart attack in his 20s and fell into a coma. Fortunately, the next moment, he woke up and found that he was reborn, or traveled through time. He came to this wonderful world and became the idol Son Goku. At the beginning of his rebirth, he had no ability to speak. As soon as he left the nutrition chamber, he was exiled to the earth by Burdock and Jine. He escaped the fate of being destroyed together with planet Vegeta. In the aircraft, he couldn't help but sigh. This world is much more exciting than the original world where he could only study and work. He was not sure that he could break through himself at the critical moment like the original Son Goku. After he knew the situation, he had already made plans. He had to practice hard and compete like the later Vegeta. Without the golden finger, he could only become stronger step by step through his own efforts. He wanted to live, he really wanted to improve. As for the future marriage, he hadn't thought about it. It's strange, since he traveled to the underage Goku. It seems that every moment is a sage moment. Even if he knew that one day in the future, the nymphomaniac girl Bulma would go up the mountain to look for the Dragon Ball. Goku still didn't have any excessive thoughts about her. Maybe he was too young, his organs were not developed, and he lacked hormone secretion. It doesn't matter, getting stronger and being able to survive is important. Besides, Bulma went up the mountain and shot him a few times. At least he had to practice to be invulnerable first, right? After Son Goku learned to talk and walk, he begged Gohan to practice with him. Son Gohan naturally spared no effort to teach him. So, Son Goku practiced with him for more than 10 years, and naturally learned breath control. This is the essence of Kame Sen Ryu. As for Kamehameha, that's simple, little Goku already knew it. In this world, the strength of a person's physical body always has a limit, but the strength of chi is unlimited. The strength of the chi is high, and the strength of Kamehameha is high. Goku also has a deep understanding of this, and naturally practices more on the chi. His current combat power has surpassed that of the original little Goku of the same period. Therefore, this is also the reason why this Goku, who is so big, can use Kamehameha to fight dinosaurs without becoming a disciple of Master Roshi. After eating and drinking, Goku rubbed his belly. I'm so full. Son Gohan said with a smile while cleaning up the dishes. Go practice when you are full, and Grandpa will clean up the rest. Well, thank you Grandpa. As he said, Son Goku put on the weighted tortoise shell on his back and started running around the mountain. Son Gohan looked at the actively practicing little Goku going away, and a strange look appeared on his face. Goku, this kid, is really desperate when it comes to training. It's completely contrary to the concept of Kame Sen Ryu. I don't know if it's right or wrong. At this moment, Son Gohan, who had finished cleaning up the dishes, came into the house with a plate. Suddenly, he saw something unusual about the 4-star ball. The 4-star ball, which was quiet in the past, actually lit up, which made him very curious. Huh, why did this bead light up? He quickly turned around and shouted. Goku, Goku, come back. Chapter 2 Bulma's death. However, Gohan walked out of the room and looked down the mountain, only to find that Goku had already run away. Son Gohan sighed. Forget it, let's wait for Goku to come back and let him see it. Son Gohan picked up the Dragon Ball and looked at it, saying, this should be a treasure. It would be great if it could stay lit all the time, so that we can replace the light bulbs and don't have to pay for electricity. Parallel time and space, future world. Trunks, go. Still looking for Son Goku. Don't worry about me, go. Black Goku's energy wave was about to hit Trunks, and at the critical moment, the time machine swooshed and disappeared. Black Goku, who lost his target, was stunned for a moment. Then, with a ferocious look, he picked up Bulma, who was powerless, and strangled her throat. Mortal, you really surprised me. I didn't expect that such a small and dirty human being like you could actually create a machine that travels through time and space. Bulma looked at the familiar face in front of her, but with a strange and ferocious expression, she felt very sad. She understood that he was not Goku. She could not wait for the past Goku to travel to this time and space to save her. Because the energy of the time machine was only enough for one way. However, she was satisfied that she could send Trunks away before she died, and she could see Sun Jun's face again in this way, and die in Sun Jun's hands. She closed her eyes, and a drop of crystal fell from the corner of her eyes. As Bulma's life passed, the memories of the past came to her mind like a movie. At the age of 16, she set foot on Baozi Mountain in search of Dragon Ball. That day, she met Son Goku, who was like a little wild man, and took him out of the mountains. No matter what difficulties they encountered, it was Goku, the little guy who knew nothing, who solved all the crises. Protected her, and protected all mankind. But Goku was a little young. And the 16-year-old Bulma still only trusted Goku, just pure friendship. It was not until the 23rd world number 1 martial arts tournament that Bulma met the grown-up Goku. Very handsome, very stunning. Bulma was stunned at the time. Since she met Goku, she has experienced so much with him. The sense of security that Goku gave her is really unmatched by anyone. At that moment, Bulma already understood that compared to that playboy Yamcha, Goku, an emotional idiot and fighting maniac, seemed to be more suitable for her. She understood Goku better than anyone else, and Goku also trusted her very much. However, before Bulma could do anything to Goku, Chichi appeared and kidnapped him without any reason. That year, the audience attending the martial arts meeting happily congratulated them on their announcement of marriage. Congratulations to the couple on their upcoming marriage. But no one saw the surprise and loss in Bulma's eyes. When she met Goku again, his and Chi-Chi's children were 4 years old. It was all too late. Bulma thought, maybe this is called fate. When Gohan was 4 years old, Raditz came. Advertisement. Because of Dragon Ball, he can be resurrected. In order to prevent him from destroying the Earth, Goku died with him. Facing the approaching Saiyan, even the former enemy Piccolo united together. Each of them actively trained to prepare for the battle 1 year later. 1 year later, Vegeta and Nappa came to Earth and killed many people. Yamcha, Jiaozi, Tien Shinhan, and even Piccolo, who was one with the gods, died. If the battle failed, all human beings on Earth would be extinct, and the Earth would be sold. Goku finally returned. He was still so reliable. After a desperate bloody battle, he finally defeated Vegeta. Unfortunately, in order to fight, he risked his life and overdrawn his body. Although he didn't die, he was so seriously injured that he couldn't even move, which was really distressing. However, not long after, Bulma brought everyone to the post-war scene. Goku's wife Chichi only cared about the slightly injured Gohan. But didn't give Goku, who was seriously injured and unable to move, a little care. And even disliked him for letting a child fight. Claiming that the explosion of the Earth was none of her business. As a wife, many of them felt that Chichi had gone too far. Goku had done nothing wrong and had protected the Earth. But she actually treated Goku like this. Even Yajirobe couldn't stand it and claimed that he would beat Chichi. Later, it was Bulma who took care of Goku. Chichi was only concerned with tutoring Gohan to do his homework. Knowing that Goku was afraid of injections, Bulma stayed with Goku in bed for several days in the following days. However, Bulma said nothing to either Chichi or Goku. She knew Goku, and he would not waste brain cells on anything other than fighting. She even knew it. During the days he lay in bed, he was still reviewing the battle with Vegeta in his mind. Later, the trip to Megatron, and Frieza's arrival on Earth with King Cold. Were all Goku's efforts to save the world. Anyway, as long as Goku is there, all difficulties can be solved. With him, you can feel full of security. Unfortunately, no one expected that Goku, who could even defeat the Emperor of the Universe, would die of a small heart attack. The Earth really can't live without Goku. All the Z warriors of Earth died in the war. All mankind suffered the baptism of war, and the entire Earth soon fell into doomsday. She vaguely remembered that Gohan, who had a broken arm, said before he died, if Dad was here. Chapter 3 Bulma's Rebirth. Bulma was deeply touched at the time, and she naturally understood. If Goku was still alive, nothing would be like this. However, it was Gohan's words, if only Dad were here. That ignited Bulma's hope, and she thought of the direction of her efforts. After 20 years of research, she finally built a time machine. Let Trunks go back to the past to ask for help, and also send medicine to Goku. It worked. When he came back and told her about the romance of King Vegeta, even she was a little surprised. Bulma remembered it clearly. When Vegeta was still alive, she didn't feel a sense of security from him. Nor did she feel any care, only pride and indifference. Bulma felt that Trunks went back to the past, and could feel that Vegeta, it must be because Goku was in that world, which gradually changed Vegeta. Aren't Tien Shinhan and Piccolo living examples? He looks stupid, but he is actually amazing. Decades have passed, and the most trustworthy person in Bulma's heart is still Son Goku. The appearance of the time machine not only allowed Goku in another time and space to get the special medicine and survive, but also saved the world she was in. Bulma felt extremely relieved that all her efforts were not in vain. At that time, he also wanted to go back to the past to see Sun Jun. But she was old, and there was also a young self and Chichi in that world. She didn't know how to deal with it if she went there. She was afraid that if she went there, she would not want to come back. So, she didn't go back. It's just that she lives in this broken world. When it's late at night, she will inevitably feel lonely and have wild thoughts. She thought about it many, many times. If life could start over, how good it would be if she could choose Goku. Unfortunately, there is no if in life. As Bulma's memory kept replaying, the energy in the black Goku's hand flashed, and in an instant, Bulma's body was blown to ashes, and a familiar song floated through Bulma's consciousness. Dedicated to your romance. As the melodious sound of the song floated in her mind, she seemed to see little Goku again, and the time when he and she were adventuring together. With a satisfied mood, she completely lost consciousness. When she woke up, she found that she was back to the age of 16. Back to the beginning of her journey to find the Dragon Ball. Bulma touched her cheek in disbelief. I'm reborn. Suddenly, a roar startled Bulma. She turned her head and saw a flash of light in the sky above Baozi Mountain not far away. A dinosaur seemed to be hit by something and fell from a high altitude. Bulma was full of confusion and saw the mountain. It only took a moment to know where it was. That's Baozi Mountain, Son Goku's home. My miserable life was over. Advertisement. And it was great to be able to start over again. Bulma was ecstatic, and her eyes were much firmer. Son Goku, I'm here to find you. This time, I must keep you by my side. I won't let you be deceived by Chichi. After saying that, Bulma stepped on the accelerator and rushed towards Baozi Mountain. As the saying goes, a horse will die if it sees a mountain. I have just seen the mountain. But it took a full hour to drive to the foot of the mountain. At this moment, after winding up the mountain road, another hour of driving, it has not reached the top. Bulma couldn't help but sigh that her speed as an old driver was still not enough. As she walked, a small mountain river came into view. The long-lost memory came to her mind again. She remembered that it was the river she saw when she first came here in her previous life. That day, Son Goku caught a big fish from the small river for dinner. Because little Goku was ignorant, he almost thought she was here to steal his food. Seeing this river, Bulma knew that it was not far from Goku's home. Bulma finally saw the smoke from the top of the mountain through the woods, and she smiled. As expected, the smoke must be from Goku grilling meat. Bulma's mouth corners slightly raised, and she suddenly stepped on the accelerator, accelerating along the winding mountain road and rushing to the top of the mountain. Suddenly, a small figure suddenly appeared in front of the car. The man was carrying a turtle shell and seemed to be walking upside down, so her face was not seen. Bulma was startled and stepped on the brakes, but she still couldn't stop the car in time. The tires slipped and the car crashed into the figure in front. Bulma was nervous and directly gripped the steering wheel and closed her eyes. She thought she would hit and then scrap the car. Unexpectedly, after closing her eyes, there was no collision sound, and she felt that the car had stopped. Bulma opened her eyes decisively. A child with a tail was standing in front of her. Bulma couldn't help but tremble in her heart and her breathing became rapid. Isn't this the little Goku she's been thinking about? That clear and foolish look made Bulma feel very close to him. Bulma couldn't wait to walk towards little Goku. Her palms were shaking with nervousness and excitement. This life, Son Goku saw her for the first time. However, in that desperate time and space, there was hardly a day that she didn't miss this face. Without any explanation, Bulma hugged Son Goku tightly. Son Goku was suddenly hugged by Bulma, and he was also confused. A strong doubt flashed through his mind. What's going on? Isn't this Bulma? Why didn't you shoot me? Instead, you hugged me as soon as we met. Feeling Bulma's body trembling constantly, Son Goku didn't move at all. She was so soft, and it was so comfortable to hug her. Moreover, she smelled so good. Chapter 4. Reunion across time and space. After a while, Bulma's excitement calmed down a little, and she slowly let go of Goku. Son Goku looked at Bulma's face curiously. Her long, smooth blue hair was casually draped over her shoulders. Her eyes were large and bright, flashing with curiosity and desire for the unknown. Her face was delicate, with a little childish cuteness. But her eyebrows revealed a wisdom and determination beyond her age. It seemed that this Bulma was a little different from the flower maniac in his memory. Bulma covered her chest and said with a lingering fear, "Just now there was a dinosaur that scared me to death. I am relieved to meet someone, and it's still a child." She continued. "Hello, my name is Bulma, and I'm a girl." As she said that, Bulma stretched out her white palm to Goku. Hearing Bulma's introduction, Son Goku was stunned for a moment. Dinosaur. Could it be that she just escaped from the dinosaur? So, was she so excited to see him? After taking a look at Bulma, she seemed to be unharmed, and her clothes were not dirty. Son Goku breathed a sigh of relief. It was good that she was not injured, and it didn't matter what she encountered. Bulma was here, and it was time for him to go down the mountain. As for the dinosaur that Bulma encountered, there was no need to catch it, and leave it to Grandpa as food in the future. Son Goku stretched out his hand to Bulma. "Hello, my name is Son Goku. Welcome to Bowsy Mountain. My grandpa is very hospitable, especially to girls. If you don't mind, come to my house and sit down." When Bulma heard Son Goku's words, her eyes flashed with deep shock. Why is it different from the memory of the previous life? How could Son Goku, who is still a child, be so polite? He should be a little savage. However, hearing the word, grandfather, from Goku's mouth, Bulma thought about it and seemed to understand something. After a few breaths, the astonishment in her eyes dissipated a little. She immediately realized that this world was a little different from the world she came from. Son Gohan died in the previous life, but he didn't die in this life. Someone takes care of the child, so he can naturally teach him a lot of things. So, this Goku looks very sensible. In the previous life, after Goku and Vegeta fought, Son Goku understood the cause of his grandfather's death. As long as Saiyan sees a full moon, he will turn into a gorilla. And Son Goku, as a Saiyan lower-level warrior, will lose consciousness when he turns into a gorilla. Advertisement. So, when he was a child, he lost control and turned into a gorilla, accidentally killing his grandfather Son Gohan. Bulma and several other friends also knew this secret. When fighting Pilaf and his gang, Goku turned into a gorilla once. When he woke up, he had no memory of turning into a gorilla. Later, at the martial arts tournament, Goku turned into a gorilla again. Thanks to Master Roshi for pushing the moon away with Kamehameha. Otherwise, Goku would lose control in front of so many people, and who knows what harm he would cause. Well, it's different from the previous life, but it seems not bad. Bulma woke up from her reasoning and laughed. That's really disturbing. Goku naturally saw that Bulma seemed to be thinking about something. After all, she is just a girl and has no fighting power. It's normal to be a little defensive when going out. So, Goku didn't rush her. A moment later, Goku brought Bulma to the top of the mountain. A small house came into view. In order to let his grandfather be prepared, Son Goku shouted as soon as he reached the top of the mountain. "Grandpa, Grandpa, I brought a girl to our house as a guest." A moment later, Son Goku, Bulma and Son Gohan sat around the table. There was a 4-star ball in the middle of the table. Son Gohan took a deep breath. Said, "Goku, this world is very exciting. There are many powerful martial artists at the foot of the mountain. You can learn from them. You are not young anymore, and you have practiced very well. Go down the mountain with Bulma to gain some experience." Son Goku looked at Son Gohan reluctantly and asked, "Then, what about you, Grandpa? Are you staying alone on the mountain?" Son Gohan smiled and said, "Don't worry, Grandpa. The fortune teller came to me a while ago. She said she wanted to hire a few security guards. As long as they can fight, there is no age limit, and the monthly salary is 100,000, with 5 insurances and 1 housing fund. And if they do a good job, they can be promoted to work as boilers for Taishang Laojun. If you go down the mountain, Grandpa will have to go to work. This job opportunity is not easy to come by." Bulma naturally heard that Son Gohan supported him to go down the mountain, and his eyes brightened a lot. "Give 5 insurances and 1 housing fund. That's great, much better than farming here." Son Gohan looked at Bulma, and then at Goku. He smiled and said, "Yes, Bulma is right. Finding a good job is much better than farming. Goku, Bulma is a girl, and you are a man. You must protect girls in the future, understand?" Son Goku nodded. "Well, I know, Grandpa. I will definitely protect her." Son Gohan nodded with relief. "Okay, there is no banquet that will not end. No matter how much we say, we must say goodbye." He looked at Bulma, picked up the 4-star ball, and handed it to Bulma. "Since you want to collect Dragon Balls, then this Dragon Ball is for you. Goku has a big appetite, so you have to bear more in the future." Bulma took the Dragon Ball excitedly and bowed deeply. Thank you, Grandpa. In the future, I will also take good care of Goku." Chapter 5 While he is young. Finally, Goku accompanied Bulma on the journey to find the Dragon Ball. However, while Bulma was riding a motorcycle, Goku was carrying a heavy tortoise shell and trotting along with her car. After driving for a while, Bulma couldn't help asking, "Hey, Goku, You are too tired to run like this, right? Are you sure you don't want to get on? Son Goku answered while running. No. I want to run more, just as a training. Grandpa said that there are many powerful people outside. I can only become stronger if I work hard enough. Bulma looked at Goku, who was practicing hard and couldn't help being speechless. With the existence of Son Gohan, Goku in this life is very different from his previous life. Not only is he much more sensible, but he is also practicing harder than in his previous life. Bulma wanted to persuade him. However, thinking of the enemies appearing one after another in the future and the crises coming again and again, Bulma gave up stopping him. It is better to sweat more now than to bleed in the future. Besides, this little Goku seems to like training more. But one thing that worries her is that this Goku seems to be training too hard. Although Bulma knows that after participating in the world's first martial arts tournament in the future, he will swim across the sea. But seeing such a young Goku working so hard, she can't help but worry about him. I wonder if his Saiyan blood can withstand such intense training at such a young age. The two walked farther and farther, and soon lost sight of Baozi Mountain. After the sunset, the night quickly became dark. Bulma stopped the car. Goku, are you hungry? It's dark now, let's stay here today. Speaking of hunger, Goku stopped and rubbed his stomach. Gurgle, gurgle gurgle. Sure enough, as soon as he stopped running, his stomach started to growl. Son Goku scratched his head and said awkwardly, I've been running for most of the day, what did I forget? I was so busy chasing you that I forgot to eat. Bulma smiled faintly, got out of the car and put it into the capsule. Then he looked around and said, well, not bad, it's relatively flat here, suitable for a house. Goku, stand behind me, I'm going to throw it. Advertisement. Knowing that it was a capsule house, Goku consciously stood behind Bulma. As Bulma opened the capsule and threw it out, after a bang, a large arc-shaped house appeared in front of him. Bulma looked at Goku. How is it? Is the capsule house I brought nice? Son Goku nodded. Well, it's very good, it's really amazing. Bulma asked curiously. Hey, you don't look surprised at all. Do you know capsule houses? Son Goku nodded. Well, when my grandfather took me to the city, I saw it in a portable house store. It's a pity that we didn't have enough money, otherwise we would have bought it and put it in the mountain. Later, my grandfather and I bought some materials, and then we cut down trees and built our own houses. Hearing this, Bulma suddenly realized. Oh, that's it. Bulma continued. Okay, come in, you've been running all day, you're sweaty and your clothes are dirty. There is hot water in the house, come take a shower, and wash your clothes by the way. After saying that, Bulma walked straight in. Son Goku blinked. Living in the mountains with Son Gohan, in order to spare more time for training, he gave up many of his poor and particular living habits. However, it's better to be clean when you go out. Just as Goku hadn't finished thinking, Bulma at the door began to urge him. Hey, come in quickly. Coming. Son Goku nodded in response, and then followed Bulma into the house. Wait a minute, the bath water is already ready. I'll make dinner first and then take you to take a bath. Goku nodded, and then looked at the furniture and decorations in the house curiously. Bulma knew that Goku had a big appetite. So, in order to satisfy Goku's appetite, she didn't mind taking out a month's worth of reserve food a day. Anyway, as long as there is money, this thing can be directly replenished in the city. Bulma took out a lot of frozen meat from the freezer, packed it up simply, and put it in more than a dozen different types of pots, and added some seasonings to each pot and started stewing. Bulma clapped her hands lightly, turned her head and looked at Goku, who was standing there blankly. Okay, I'm done. It will probably take more than an hour to eat the stewed meat. Let's take a bath first. As she said that, Bulma walked to the washing machine on the side, turned it on, and poured in a spoonful of laundry detergent. Then he continued. Also, take off all your clothes here first. I'll help you put them in the washing machine. Son Goku pointed at himself in surprise. You mean, let me take off my clothes here? Bulma was stunned for a moment. It seems that Goku is different from the memory. He is so tall, but he feels ashamed. Bulma raised her eyebrows again and said disdainfully, please. You are still a child. Your total height is as high as my buttocks, why are you shy? Take it off quickly. Son Goku is indeed a little embarrassed. Although he is a child now. But his soul is that of an adult. Now he is a child, maybe his special organs have not developed well. At this moment, Goku has no hormones to assist him, and he does not have much desire for Bulma. But how can he take off his clothes in front of a girl? Seeing that Son Goku didn't take off his clothes, Bulma immediately said, take them off quickly, your clothes are smelly, even if you don't mind, I do. This is my home, you sleep here, you have to listen to me. Son Goku looked at Bulma and said with some entanglement, then turn your head away, don't look at me. Bulma smiled and touched the tip of her nose, and turned around with some disdain. Okay, you are still shy, you are just a child, your hair hasn't even grown out yet, I'm too lazy to look at you. Take them off quickly. After taking them off, go directly to the bathtub in the bathroom naked, I've already filled the water. Son Goku was not only shy, but also curious. Because this Bulma was different from the Bulma in his impression, not as crazy as the Bulma in the early Dragon Ball, not as stupid. Goku continued. Then don't turn around and peek. I know. Bulma waved her hand indifferently, without any sign of turning back. After all, She is not the original Bulma. She has lived 2 lives and has been a mother in the last days. Even though she missed Son Goku for 20 years in the last days. But facing this Son Goku who has not grown up, she still can't have too much love between men and women. She just wants him to take a bath quickly and have dinner. However, she thought about meeting Chichi in the future. Bulma decided that after getting familiar with Goku in a few days, she would make an agreement with him to marry her when he grows up. Well, she must take him down in advance while he is still ignorant. P.S. Is anyone watching? Is anyone watching? Can I move the data a little bit? Is anyone watching? Is anyone watching? Chapter 6 Taking a Bath. After Bulma turned around, Son Goku quickly took off all his dirty clothes, threw them into the washing machine, and hurried into the bathroom. Bulma turned her head when she heard Goku's footsteps getting farther away. She simply pressed the water level of the washing machine and let it spin. Then, she rummaged through the closet. Well, he is so small now, and it seems that there is no replacement clothes for him to wear. What should I do? Suddenly, Bulma saw a t-shirt of hers in the corner, which was relatively neutral. Just make do with this, it's just a child, what pants to wear. When we get back to the city, I will buy him 2 replacement clothes. As she said that, Bulma took the t-shirt and walked into the bathroom. Your clothes will dry overnight. Anyway, it's time to go to bed after dinner. After washing, wear my t-shirt as pajamas and make do with it for the night. Son Goku looked at Bulma who came in, and a trace of trance flashed in his eyes. For some reason, he thought of his mother. But looking at Bulma, who is only 16 years old, Goku always feels that her temperament is a bit inconsistent. At the beginning of Dragon Ball, Bulma gave a lot of benefits, but she is actually a good girl. If he can marry her when he grows up, it would be great. However, thinking of Bulma meeting Yamcha in the play, she went back to the West City to enjoy herself. Goku always feels uneasy. If he goes to the West City with her and has a superior life, he might be ruined. Maybe he can't even beat Piccolo Daimao in the future. Goku immediately shook his head. No. Born in adversity, die in comfort. Besides, as a Dragon Ball fan, he knows Bulma too well. In the original work, she can bathe little Goku, but she doesn't have any other thoughts. She just treats little Goku as a child. During this period, Bulma, who is only 16 years old, is a big fangirl. She only likes handsome guys of the same age as her, or more mature uncles. She didn't have any feelings between men and women for the little Goku who hadn't grown up yet. Coincidentally, I feel the same way when I look at her now. Goku was soaked in the water. And he didn't have to worry about being seen naked by her, just looking at her. However, until Bulma put down her clothes and stood by the fish tank without leaving. Goku asked. What's wrong? Why don't you leave after delivering the clothes? Bulma picked up a brush. I'll rub your back for you. Come on, stand up. Son Goku was startled and turned around immediately. No, it's not necessary. As he spoke, a feeling of weakness suddenly surged over his body. Bulma pinched his tail and let go. Don't be naughty, stand up. Goku stood up immediately and turned his head to look at Bulma. Why are you grabbing my tail? Son Goku wanted to tell her not to grab his tail. That was his weakness for the time being, and he hadn't overcome it yet. But on second thought, he didn't say this weakness. What if the wall has ears? Sooner or later, he will overcome this weakness. In fact, in order to prevent the accidental killing of Son Gohan, he cut off his tail once. But within a year, the tail actually grew out again. You can't always cut yourself for no reason, right? It hurts. So he didn't cut it off again later. But for safety reasons, he went to bed early every few days when the full moon night was approaching. I couldn't see what little Goku was thinking about, so I didn't move. Bulma suddenly put her hands on her hips and became fierce. We'll have dinner soon, don't dawdle. Advertisement. I'm done with rubbing you, I still have to take a bath. Don't occupy the bathtub, stand up quickly. The voice was domineering and could not be refused. Son Goku couldn't help but tighten his anus. There was no funny atmosphere, Bulma was actually very fierce. However, the feeling that Bulma gave people was finally right now. This is a bit like the woman who dared to slap Beerus in the later period. As soon as Goku stood firm, Bulma stepped on the edge of the bathtub with one foot, and rubbed his back vigorously with a bath brush. Son Goku was a little resistant at first, but he breathed a sigh of relief at this moment. Bulma rubbed him quite comfortably. A moment later. Just as Son Goku was enjoying the back rub, Bulma handed him the brush. Okay, I'm done with the back, you can do the front by yourself, I'll go to see the dinner in the pot. Son Goku nodded. Got it. It's not like he hasn't used the shower and bathtub in the city before. After Goku finished rubbing, he went directly under the shower to rinse his body, and then put on Bulma's t-shirt. It was a bit chilly without pants, but it felt okay. After using shower gel and shampoo, he felt refreshed all over. He didn't need to wear pants when wearing her t-shirt, because the t-shirt fell to the knees, and it became a dress on him. Goku was helpless. Underage Saiyans were shorter than average children. He remembered that elementary school students in their teens were usually 1.67 meters tall. His height was more suitable for kindergarten. Without dwelling on this matter, Goku walked out of the bathroom. In an instant, Goku smelled the aroma of food. Wow, it smells so good. Little Goku couldn't help swallowing his saliva, and his stomach growled again. Bulma had washed his clothes in the washing machine, and was now hanging them on the balcony. Seeing little Goku coming out, rubbing his stomach, a smile appeared on her face again. Tisk tisk, you look much fresher after washing. But the food is not cooked yet, wait a little longer. After I finish my shower, we'll eat together. Okay. Bulma entered the bathroom. Goku looked around and saw the remote control on the sofa. It's really hard to smell the aroma and wait with an empty stomach. Question mark. Or watch TV and wait for her first. At this moment, Bulma's head popped out of the bathroom. Hey, Goku, I helped you just now it's your turn to come and rub my back. Son Goku. Chapter 7. Change of Desire. Soon, it was time for dinner. Goku began to eat with astonishing relish. He seemed to be enjoying the food, and Bulma was also very happy. She rested her chin on one hand and stared at him in a daze. Such a life with abundant supplies reminded her of her previous life. Before today, she was still in the doomsday. In her previous life, since the arrival of Black Goku, the world was facing the end of the world. Supplies were scarce, food was scarce, and humans were like mice hiding in the dark, lingering. Fortunately, she sent Trunks away. Thinking of her son in her previous life, Bulma couldn't help but murmur. I don't know what happened to Trunks after he went back. I hope he stayed in the past time and space and lived well with them. And never went back to that world again. Just as Bulma was reminiscing about the past. A voice interrupted Bulma's reverie. Hey, Bulma, don't you want to eat? Bulma was stunned for a moment and looked up at Goku. Almost all the food on the table had been swept away. There was only a plate of stewed meat in front of her, and a bowl of rice in front of her. So fast, almost all of it was eaten up. However, little Goku was so hungry. And he even knew to leave a portion of food for himself. Bulma was a little uncomfortable with him being so sensible. She usually just ate some light bread and lettuce at night. These meats were actually made for Goku. So she said, I don't want to eat anymore, you eat it all. After that, Bulma pushed the last portion of food to Goku. Goku was stunned. Aren't you hungry? Why don't you eat anything? Bulma smiled sweetly. You eat it. I don't eat too greasy food at night to lose weight. Then, Bulma took out the bread, spread sauce, added lettuce, and then ate it in small bites. Goku seemed to remember it too. In the original work, Goku went out hunting to eat, and Bulma ate bread and other things. Without the psychological burden, he picked up the last portion of food and ate it. In the midst of his busy schedule, he did not forget to say thank you. It was late at night, and it started to rain outside the window. Goku had been running for almost a whole day and was very tired. After taking a shower and eating a full meal, he had fallen asleep at this moment. Bulma sat on the bed, looking at Goku who was sleeping soundly, like a good baby. She leaned over and kissed Goku gently on the face. Goku rubbed his face, turned over, and continued to sleep. Bulma smiled like an auntie and turned her head to look at the rain outside the window. Endless thoughts came to her mind again, and Bulma began to think wildly. In the previous life, since Goku was gone, the whole earth has been plagued by disasters. Those 20 years of doomsday were really worse than death. If she hadn't needed to take care of Trunks growing up, she would have been unable to hold on. I don't know how long it took. Bulma's thoughts returned, and she remembered tomorrow's schedule. In this life, she has not changed anything. If nothing unexpected happens, Goku will meet a big turtle when he is training tomorrow. Then Goku kindly sends the big turtle back. Advertisement. By chance, Goku can get the somersault cloud given by Master Roshi. And she can also get the Dragon Ball in Master Roshi's hand. Now, there is no other wish, and the Dragon Ball is actually useless to her. The power of the Dragon Ball is limited, and it is impossible to wish for a perfect boyfriend. What's more, Bulma in this life has matured. The childhood dream has long been forgotten. And the unrealistic dream of girlhood has also disappeared. In this peaceful world, she has no wishes. She just wants to wait for Goku to grow up and then marry him. Let him do what he likes, practice every day, and protect the earth and his family. And she is busy working every day, making money, and supporting his practice. If Goku and herself can be together, it seems that they can live the life they want until they grow old together. Suddenly, a flash of inspiration flashed through Bulma's mind. I almost forgot that in the future, Goku died of a sudden viral heart attack. There was no specific medicine in that era, and senzu beans were ineffective. Goku died before the Dragon Balls were collected. The Dragon Balls were used by Pilaf and his gang to turn into babies, so they could not be used for a year. Later, when Piccolo died, the Dragon Balls were completely gone. Shenron cannot revive people who died of illness. But in this life, we can prepare for a rainy day. For example, let my parents invest in medicine now and develop a specific medicine for viral heart disease. Developing a specific medicine is not a difficult task for the science of this world. It can definitely be developed before leaving for Namek. However, Bulma remembered another thing. Although Goku is very strong and likes to fight. But, he is afraid of injections. Saiyans can't avoid headaches, fevers and colds. A better way came to mind. Why not make a wish for Goku to never get sick after collecting the Dragon Balls this time? Bulma immediately smiled. This idea is really great. At present, there are 3 Dragon Balls in hand, and 4 more will be complete. Now it is once and for all, easier than making medicine. Bulma still remembers the whereabouts of the Dragon Balls. One in Master Roshi's hand, one in the Wulong village, and one in the Ox King's castle. Thinking of Ox King, Bulma's pupils shrank. She couldn't help but think of Chichi. Thinking of the promise of the bride. Thinking of the grown-up Goku being kidnapped by Chichi at the Martial Arts Association. This can't be blamed on Chichi. If you want to blame someone, blame Goku for being ignorant. In the previous life, Goku was so stupid that he just understood that men and women look different. And he actually relied on taking pictures of girls' private parts to distinguish between men and women. This made Chichi and him get married privately. However, looking at this Goku, Bulma seemed relieved. In this life, he has Gohan to teach him to grow up, and he is no different from a normal person. He shouldn't do that kind of thing. So, there is no need to interfere too much. Then, let's send the turtle to Kame House tomorrow. If he dares to make excessive demands, I will beat him up. After saying that, Bulma covered Goku with a blanket, turned off the lights, and fell asleep on her side on the bed. Sleeping next to Goku, even in the wilderness, Bulma didn't worry about any danger. That night, she slept particularly soundly. Chapter 8 Visiting Kame House. The next day, the sun was shining brightly and the sky was clear. A ray of sunlight shone through the gap in the curtains onto Bulma's face. And she finally woke up from her sleep. The room was empty, with no sign of Goku. Goku, Sun Jun. Bulma called out twice, but there was no response. She suddenly saw a t-shirt thrown on the sofa. This t-shirt was what Goku wore after taking a shower yesterday. Bulma immediately looked at the balcony. Sure enough, Goku's clothes were gone. Pulling open a little curtain, Bulma saw Goku moving stones for exercise outside. And then she felt relieved. She glanced at the time and said to herself, "Oh, it's so late. It's hard to imagine that I slept in. I'm not as diligent as Goku." After that, Bulma lifted the blanket and got up, then began to brush her teeth and wash. Suddenly, Bulma's movements froze. She lifted her pajamas, lowered her head and checked. The pure white underwear was firmly on her body. Bulma breathed a sigh of relief again. Sure enough, this Goku is different. He won't do such rude things. After washing up, Bulma was about to change clothes when she heard Goku knocking on the door. "Bulma, open the door." Bulma opened the door and looked at little Goku with some dissatisfaction. "I was just exercising at the door. Why did you lock the door?" "Did you lock it accidentally?" Goku said. No, I locked it on purpose. I saw you were still sleeping and was worried that bad guys would break in." Hearing Goku's words, Bulma couldn't help but be surprised. She couldn't help but secretly said, "Did I hear it right? Advertisement. Little Goku is actually concerned about my safety." Tisk tisk tisk. Goku in this life is so sensible. Just as the two were talking, a familiar big turtle came into view. "Ma'am, hello, excuse me." Son Goku immediately said, "Bulma, I met a lost sea turtle outside. Can we help send it back?" Bulma looked at the turtle and smiled, "Isn't this a small matter? I'll change my clothes later and we'll send it back to the sea together." The turtle looked grateful. "Really? Thank you so much." Bulma looked at the turtle, squatted down, and asked, "Mr. Turtle, do you want to eat or drink something?" The turtle was stunned for a moment. "Yes, can I? Of course I can." Bulma said generously. The turtle said, "Then please give me a glass of light salt water, and it would be better to have some meat. I'm thirsty and hungry." "Okay, wait a minute." After that, Bulma took out a small bucket, threw a handful of salt in it, and took a bucket of water. At the same time, he took out a few pieces of frozen pork belly from the refrigerator and threw them into the bucket. In the previous life, Bulma was very familiar with Master Roshi and his group. She helped Ranchi feed the turtle, so she naturally knew what it liked to eat and drink. The frozen meat melted quickly in the water, and the salt water was cool. The turtle drank it so comfortably. After drinking almost all the water and eating raw meat, the turtle was finally full. The full and satisfied turtle thanked Bulma profusely, and Bulma quickly interrupted his nagging. Soon, Goku finished his training. Goku didn't eat much in the morning. After Bulma and Goku had breakfast, Bulma put away the capsule room. Goku carried the turtle on his back, and she rode a motorcycle to accompany him, heading towards the seaside where the Kame house was. Originally, Bulma wanted to drive the turtle there. But Goku said that he wanted to practice with the turtle on his back, so Bulma gave up driving. Riding a motorcycle is not easy to encounter difficult roads. Along the way, no matter what kind of bear or other kind of bandits they encountered, Bulma didn't hesitate and directly gave Goku the order to start fighting. Those bandits had no power to fight back in front of Goku, and they were taught a lesson by Goku. About 2 hours later, the two people and the turtle came to the seaside. Seeing the sea, the turtle thanked excitedly. "I have been wandering outside for a year, thank you so much." Goku smiled and said, "You're welcome, go home quickly." The turtle entered the sea and turned back and said, "Wait for me, I must repay you." As he said that, the turtle swam towards the depths of the sea. Goku was an inland landlubber in his previous life. He had seen many rivers, but rarely the sea. Only after work, when the company had a team building, he went to the Gold Coast once, and that was the first time he saw the sea. Seeing the sea again in the Dragon Ball world, he took off his shoes immediately and went to step on the soft and cold beach. Bulma looked at the direction where the turtle went, and a look of nostalgia appeared on his face. She understood that it was going to Kame house. As expected, Master Roshi would be here soon. At this moment, Goku's voice came over. Bulma, come and play for a while. Bulma looked at Goku. Goku had taken off his shoes and stepped on the beach barefoot. The waves submerged his feet one after another, and then quickly retreated. A look of enjoyment. Bulma had a warm smile on her face. Here we go. She also took off her shoes and walked barefoot on the cold beach. At the same time, shallow waves came, directly submerging her feet. And in an instant, a trace of coolness surged over Bulma's whole body. She couldn't help but shiver. Hiss, it's so cold. Bulma's toes couldn't help but curl up, and her feet arched hard. The waves retreated again, washing away some of the fine sand remaining between her toes. Seeing that Bulma was still adapting to the water temperature, Goku laughed. The skin on Bulma's instep was as white as snow, delicate and smooth. Drops of water slid down her toes, reflecting the sunlight, which was extremely beautiful. Bulma's face was filled with happiness as she immersed herself in it. She seemed to have almost forgotten what such a peaceful and beautiful life was like. This is a comfortable life, this is a beautiful life. She looked out at the sea and exclaimed sincerely, it's so beautiful. Yes, the sea is so beautiful. Goku also echoed. Chapter 9. Can Bulma ride the somersault cloud? Bulma said. Goku, why don't I buy an island when we grow up, and then build a sea resort on the island, how about that? Hearing Bulma's suggestion, Son Goku's eyes brightened. He remembered the beautiful scenes in the Dragon Ball Super drama. There are Whis, Beerus, many good friends, and children. Having parties, everyone is eating delicious food. There are many chefs on the island, with various cuisines and delicious food famous all over the world. In the original work, he and Vegeta fought and sparred on the sea. When they were tired of fighting, they could eat all kinds of delicious food directly when they came back. Imagine that kind of life, simple and unpretentious, it was simply too beautiful. Goku immediately said, the island should be equipped with many chefs and all kinds of food from all over the world. Bulma smiled sweetly. Okay, it's a deal. I'll let you eat delicious food every day. Yes, it's a deal. Son Goku nodded immediately. At this moment, a voice came through the waves. Hi. The two turned their heads and saw a wretched figure appearing on the sea in front of them. A bald man wearing sunglasses, a floral shirt, and shorts, stepping on a big turtle, slowly swam towards her. Who else could this person be but Master Roshi? Master Roshi made a scissor hand gesture after meeting the eyes of Bulma and Goku. Sorry to have kept you waiting. Master Roshi and the turtle went ashore. He looked at the short Goku, and then walked towards Bulma. Hello, beautiful lady, did you save the turtle? Bulma nodded, then glanced at Goku and said, the two of us saved the turtle. Master Roshi smiled and said, the turtle has been lost for a year. Thank you so much for bringing it back. Then, in order to repay you, I want each of you to have a great gift. As he said that, Master Roshi began to summon the phoenix. Of course, the phoenix died of food poisoning. After a while of tossing, Master Roshi summoned the somersault cloud. Master Roshi looked at Bulma and said, this is called the somersault cloud. You can fly up to the sky when you ride it. It's a treasure. To thank you for saving the sea turtle, I'll give you this cloud. Bulma stared at the somersault cloud in a daze. She remembered that she couldn't ride the somersault cloud in her previous life. This thing is only suitable for people with pure hearts like Goku. Including Chichi, Gohan, their whole family can ride the somersault cloud. Bulma turned her head and looked at Goku. Goku, you should ride this somersault cloud. Okay. Son Goku nodded and walked over immediately. Unexpectedly, Master Roshi interrupted Goku and stood in front of Son Goku. Wait a minute, this cloud is for you, beautiful lady. I'll have something else for him later. Bulma was stunned again. Specially for me, Master Roshi nodded. Advertisement. Yeah, go up and try it. Bulma was a little entangled. She reached out and touched the somersault cloud. The real touch surprised her. Unlike in the previous life. She didn't touch the air, but touched the somersault cloud itself. It was soft, like cotton, like a mattress. Bulma's pupils trembled, and she didn't understand why. Can't get up, let me give you a push. Just when Bulma was surprised, Master Roshi behind her was about to help. It was obvious that he wanted to support her but. Bulma was slightly angry and ignored him. Instead, she turned over and jumped immediately. She actually sat steadily on the somersault cloud. Seeing Bulma sitting on the somersault cloud, Son Goku was also stunned for a moment. But the next moment, his eyes immediately brightened. Unexpectedly, the Bulma he met was not only not as crazy as in the play, but she could even sit on the somersault cloud, which showed that her heart was very pure. That was really great. Goku himself didn't get the somersault cloud, but he didn't think he suffered much loss. Because in the future, as long as he learned the flying technique, he would be much faster than the somersault cloud in the later stage. Now, Bulma can ride the cloud, which is much better than him having the somersault cloud. After all, Bulma's physical strength is not strong, and it would be much slower to travel without transportation. But he is different, even if he can't ride the somersault cloud. But he can run, he has enough physical strength, and he can exercise. He imagined a picture, Bulma flying in the sky on the somersault cloud, and he jogging on the ground to chase him. Practicing while traveling, it's a win-win situation. It will be much more convenient to find Dragon Ball in the future. Finally, there is no need to worry about the problem of transportation. Son Goku immediately praised. It's amazing, Bulma. You should fly up and try it. Bulma knelt on the cloud, grabbed the two bulges of the somersault cloud, and nodded to Goku. The next moment, the somersault cloud took Bulma flying. After all, she is a woman, not as bold as Goku. Unlike the airplane's cloud, there was no glass, so he was naturally afraid of falling off. So during the flight, the cloud also felt her fear. So, the cloud slowed down, and it was not flying very fast, but very stable. At this moment, Master Roshi also looked up at Bulma in the sky. If she stood on the cloud, she should be able to see the infinite scenery with the skirt she was wearing. However, because she was timid, she actually knelt on the cloud, wrapped in golden clouds, without any exposure. What a pity. Master Roshi couldn't help but feel a little disappointed. After a few circles, the cloud landed steadily with Bulma. The turtle raised his head and looked at Master Roshi. It was that child who carried me back, and you still have to thank him. Master Roshi scratched his head. I'm thinking about it. The phoenix is gone, and I don't have a second cloud. Let me think about what to give him. At this time, Bulma made an opinion. Master Roshi, can you give us the beads on your chest? Chapter 10 The Somersault Cloud has spirit. Beads. Master Roshi took off the Dragon Ball on his chest. You mean this thing? Bulma nodded. Master Roshi said. I picked this up at the bottom of the sea 100 years ago. And I made it into a necklace. How about it? Is it beautiful? Yes, it's very beautiful. While speaking, Master Roshi's Dragon Ball suddenly lit up. Both Bulma and Goku have Dragon Balls on them. And the Dragon Balls will react when they are close to each other. Seeing the Dragon Ball glow, Master Roshi couldn't help but be surprised. Oh, this thing actually glows. This is the first time I've seen it. This thing is definitely a treasure. It should be very valuable, right? Bulma nodded again and looked at Master Roshi. You're right, this bead is called Dragon Ball. There are 7 of them, scattered all over the world. As long as you collect all 7, you can summon Shenron. And any wish that's not too outrageous can be fulfilled. However, although Dragon Ball is a treasure, it's useless if you can't collect them all. I've collected 3. When I collect them all, I'm going to use the Dragon Ball to make a wish to cure a friend of mine. As he spoke, Bulma took out the Dragon Ball on his body and showed it to Master Roshi. Master Roshi found that the Dragon Ball could shine, and he wanted to ask for more benefits to satisfy his bad taste. For example, he wanted the underwear of the beautiful girl in front of him. However, when Bulma took out the Dragon Ball, and said that the purpose of collecting the Dragon Balls was to wish for a friend to be cured, Master Roshi gave up that dirty idea. So you want to save people, then I'll give you this bead. Master Roshi took off the Dragon Ball and gave it to Bulma generously. Bulma took the Dragon Ball calmly. She also knew Master Roshi very well, so she said that. Although he was very lustful. However, this little flaw did not affect his greatness at all. Bulma remembered that in his previous life, he was not serious on weekdays. However, when Piccolo Daimao came and intended to rule the world with evil, Master Roshi stood up. He did not hesitate at all and used the Mafuha at the cost of his own life. Although he failed, Bulma also understood from that time that, although Master Roshi was lustful, he was righteous in his bones. Goku, who was standing by, was also a little surprised when he heard Bulma's wish. He remembered that in the original book, Bulma's wish was to find a boyfriend. However, the Bulma in front of him was not only purer in heart than in the previous life, but also changed the purpose of looking for the Dragon Ball. It was not a wish to find a boyfriend, but to help a friend cure his illness. This was a good thing. But it did not make Goku happy, but made him a little worried. Son Goku thought to himself. Perhaps he replaced the fate of the protagonist. Avoided turning into a gorilla and let Grandpa Gohan survive. Causing a different result for the world. Although it seems that they have rarely come down the mountain. But from the moment he changed his grandfather's fate, the world has quietly changed. Son Goku thought back to the original work. Trunks traveled to the past. He just killed Frieza for Son Goku and did not affect other history. But, the world has quietly changed because of him. For example, number 18 and number 17, who were evil and rebellious in the future, have become good people in this world. Of course, other small changes are more than that. Advertisement. Thinking of this, Son Goku couldn't help but frown. It seems that history has quietly changed since he came to this world. It's just that he doesn't know it. It seems that the future information he has in the future may not be so accurate. Goku, let's go. Son Goku woke up from his thoughts and found that Bulma seemed to be ready to go. Oh, let's go. As he said that, Goku began to move his joints and prepared to continue jogging to follow her. However, Bulma interrupted him. Goku, it's noon. Come with me on the cloud, try to go faster. Son Goku was stunned. What's wrong with noon? Bulma smiled and said, you have a big appetite. When I cooked yesterday, I almost emptied the refrigerator and freezer. We have to rush to a big city before dark. I need to buy some supplies to replenish them, otherwise we will be hungry. Son Goku suddenly realized. Oh, yes, sorry, I ate too much. I might as well hunt and cook next time. Bulma smiled faintly. It's okay, eat as you like. You can't make me poor even if your appetite is 100 times bigger. It just happened that there was not much food left yesterday. When we get to the city, we just need to prepare some more food. I have enough capsules to store supplies. Son Goku thought about it. Indeed, Bulma is the daughter of Brief, the richest man in the world. No matter how much he eats, he can't make her poor. So Son Goku didn't hesitate at all and jumped onto the somersault cloud. Goodbye, Master Roshi. Goodbye. Come and play when you have time. After saying goodbye, the two turned into a golden light and rushed away. Bulma, I think we can go faster. Bulma, there is no windshield on this cloud. It's too fast and I'm a little scared. If you want to speed up, you should watch me and don't let me fall. Son Goku said disdainfully. How is it possible? I can feel that the cloud is spiritual. If you fall, the cloud will catch you. Bulma blinked curiously. Really? While talking, the cloud did a backflip. Bulma hugged Son Goku tightly in panic and fell with him. However, the cloud showed some skills. After they fell dozens of meters, it caught them steadily. It seemed to prove to her that although it was just a cloud, it really had thoughts. Unexpectedly, Bulma, who was sitting on the cloud, had a livid face and her legs began to tremble. Inadvertently, drops of transparent liquid fell through the clouds into the sky. Master Roshi watched the two leave until the golden light disappeared into the sky. And then he turned around with a bit of disappointment. Let's go, old turtle. Master Mu Tien misses me recently, right? The old turtle asked self-indulgently. Master Roshi didn't even raise his head, no. Old turtle. Just at this moment, a loud voice came over. Teacher Mu Tien. Wait a minute. Master Roshi was stunned, turned his head, and looked in the direction of the sound. He saw his disciple Son Gohan, running towards him with a bag on his back. Chapter 11 Gohan's Request. Master Roshi was startled and asked curiously, Oh, it's Gohan. It's been a long time since we last met. Son Gohan greeted. Teacher, are you in good health recently? Master Roshi said proudly. Ah, that's natural. Teacher, since I started to maintain my health. I watch beautiful women doing yoga every day, and it's not a problem to live another 300 years. By the way, why are you here? Don't you need to take care of children in Baozi Mountain? Son Gohan smiled. Teacher, people will grow up. The child I picked up back then is now 12 years old and no longer needs my care. A little girl came to the mountain. I think she is pretty good. So I let her go down the mountain with her to gain experience. Master Roshi suddenly realized. I see, so many years have passed, I didn't expect that child to grow up. Oh, by the way, what did you come to me for? Son Gohan immediately stood up straight and said, Master Mutant, I want to ask you for a favor. Master Roshi saw that Son Gohan was very serious and asked curiously, what is it? I want to ask the teacher to accept that child as a disciple. Master Roshi was stunned. He asked, why, is the child disobedient? Son Gohan sighed. This child is too obedient and very sensible. I usually urge him to practice well. As a result, he practiced harder and harder, even a little too hard. Master Roshi scratched his head. Too much effort. What do you mean? Son Gohan said. This child has liked to practice since he was young, which should be a good thing. But, maybe I taught him too strictly. From childhood to adulthood, he practiced too hard. Even sacrificing rest time and entertainment time to practice. But the more so, the more worried I am. It will be bad if he goes astray. Master Roshi thought of Crane Immortal, and raised his eyebrows. Asked, what is the talent of this child? The talent can be regarded as a natural talent. Although he is only 12 years old now, his skills are almost the same as mine. Master Roshi took a breath. Hiss, from what you said, this kid is really a genius. Son Gohan nodded. Yes, he is a martial arts genius, so I am particularly afraid that he will go astray. Master Roshi asked seriously. In that case, then I agree. What's his name? I'll pay attention to it later. Son Goku. He is very special, with a tail behind him, he should be easy to recognize. Master Roshi's pupils suddenly shrank. The image of little Goku returned to his mind. That's right, little Goku has an extra tail. And he thought it was a decoration. Because Goku came with the beautiful little girl Bulma. Master Roshi's attention was always on Bulma. And he didn't pay much attention to Son Goku. Now thinking about it, it seems that he has a stick on his back. Isn't that the Rui stick that he took from Karen Tower? And passed on to Son Gohan. He didn't recognize it. I have to say, this world is really small. However, a child who can ride the somersault cloud must be a good child, and his character is beyond reproach. Master Roshi immediately responded. Okay, I got it. When I meet your grandson in the future, I will help you teach him. Son Gohan immediately bowed to Master Roshi. Advertisement. Thank you, teacher. We have been master and apprentice for so many years, so don't be polite. Come to my place for a meal. Son Gohan shook his head and refused. No, teacher, I have to hurry. I promised the fortune teller that I would be her security guard. I have to get there before dark. Master Roshi nodded. Ah, I'm just being polite. Then you can go. Son Gohan was not embarrassed. He bowed to Master Roshi in a serious manner. Then, I'll trouble you with Goku's matter. I won't bother you here. Goodbye, teacher. Goodbye. After that, Son Gohan left. Master Roshi watched Son Gohan leave in a flash. And he turned back to Kame House. Although Bulma peed her panties, it was summer and the air was warm. The ventilation on the somersault cloud was excellent, and her panties dried naturally in a short time. Bulma was afraid that Goku would be embarrassed if he knew. So she didn't waste time changing clothes and rode on the somersault cloud with Goku. At this moment, Bulma was not very persistent in finding the Dragon Ball quickly. So she deviated from the route a little and deliberately turned to Dongdu. When the sun was setting, the two arrived above the big city of Dongdu. The prosperity of Dongdu was not as good as Exedu, but it was not much different. Just the GDP of the capsule company. All kinds of business were developed, especially the food was very rich. Bulma said, Goku, it's getting dark, let's stay in Dongdu tonight. Son Goku was sitting on the cloud, already sleepy and dazed. Okay, I'll listen to you. Bulma was a little surprised. Let him run all the way, but he was full of energy. However, after sitting on the somersault cloud for a long time, he almost fell asleep. Bulma said, Goku, this street is quite prosperous. Today we not only got the somersault cloud, but also got a Dragon Ball very smoothly. How about we celebrate? Goku asked curiously. How to celebrate? He doesn't like those kinds of entertainment activities with many people. Bulma pondered for a moment. She knew Goku too well. He didn't like all kinds of entertainment activities. Apart from fighting, his only hobby was eating delicious food. Bulma had an idea. Goku, how about we go to the night market food street? As soon as the voice fell, Son Goku's originally lazy appearance immediately changed. He sat up straight and looked refreshed. Really, with my appetite, it would cost a lot of money to go to the food court. Bulma laughed and said disdainfully, it's okay, I'll keep you full. I'm not short of money, I can eat whatever I want, as long as I don't waste it. Goku immediately hugged Bulma's arm excitedly, looked up and looked into her eyes gratefully. Bulma, you are so good to me. Bulma. Chapter 12 Arrival at Gao Village. In addition to being serious about training, Goku is also more interested in eating. This is mainly because he has a good appetite. Eating is his instinct. In addition, he lives in the mountains all year round. He grills or boils meat every day, and the seasonings are the two most commonly used and cheapest ones, pepper, aniseed, cumin, and chili. There is no technological innovation. He is always tired of the same ingredients and the limited two seasonings. His grandfather also took him to the city to eat, but he knows how much a Saiyan eats. The amount of food that ordinary people eat is just enough to fill his teeth, and he can't be full at all. He is also distressed by his large appetite. He really craves all kinds of delicious food in the city. How great would it be if he could eat everything he likes and still be full? As soon as Bulma said that she would take him to the food night market, she immediately saw that Goku, who was originally listless, suddenly became energetic, and he also knew how to please her. Bulma couldn't help but giggle. Sure enough, although he has become much more sensible in this world, he is still the same Goku. She remembered that he was hypnotized during a martial arts competition. She woke him up by calling him to eat. A moment later, the two landed in Dongdu and came to the door of a hotel. Bulma and Goku walked in side by side. Hello, let's get a room. The front desk took out 2 room cards and said respectfully, hello, please show your ID cards. Bulma took out her ID card and handed it over. No need to be so troublesome, just open a room for the two of us. After that, Bulma swiped her ID card, put down the money, took the room card and led Goku in to find a room. The front desk looked at Bulma, and the short Son Goku beside him, with a tail behind him, and it seemed that the tail shook a little. I couldn't help but mutter to myself, these two people are really weird. Forget about the sister-brother relationship, they actually play with that kind of props. Do you think it's fun? But that tail seems to be real. I don't know where it was bought. Is it a plug-in or an accessory? Tisk tisk, young people really know how to play. After Bulma entered the hotel room, she went straight to the bathroom. Took a shower, washed her underwear and hung it up quietly. Then took Goku out, although there are many styles of food in the food street. But because it is just a street stall, the price is not high. And the sanitary conditions of the same price are also relatively average. However, the food on the street stall is really delicious, especially the kind with a long queue. Bulma looked around and asked, Goku, what do you want to eat first? Who knows, Goku has already consciously run to the pancake cart. Only that stall has a small queue, and there is no one at the moment. Bulma shrugged. I said I'm treating you to a meal and letting you eat whatever you want, and you come up to eat pancakes. Do you look down on my financial resources? Bulma swallowed what she wanted to say after thinking about it. Perhaps it was because Son Gohan was not rich and Goku had a big appetite. That Goku developed a frugal character. She walked directly to the stall and paid for little Goku. In just a short while, Goku had eaten all kinds of delicacies. Stinky tofu, rujamo, roast chicken, grilled squid, grilled cold noodles, fried skewers, spicy hot pot, cold noodles. Advertisement. The main feature was cheap and large quantities. When Bulma bought food for Goku, she also bought a lot of semi-finished food and stored it. This was their food for the next few days on the road. At the same time, she also bought him a few suitable clothes. Well, they were all sports-style children's clothes, and the more fashionable ones. The next day, the two set out on the journey to find Dragon Ball again. Because Goku had to practice while walking, Bulma was not very fast on the cloud. 3 days later, near noon, the two arrived at the village where the 5th Dragon Ball was located. There were many houses in the village, but there was no pedestrian on the road. Bulma knew that they had arrived at Gao Laozhuang. The people in this village had been deceived by that guy Wulong. It didn't matter. What mattered was that someone might sneak attack in a while and chop Goku's head with an axe. Bulma was a little nervous. If she was hit, it would be fatal. She leaned close to Goku and told him, Goku, I'll knock on the door. Please be careful for me. If someone sneak attacks, you must stop them. Son Goku nodded. Okay, got it. After that, Bulma knocked on the door of the nearest house. Is anyone there? Is anyone there? The clear girl's voice came out, and it seemed that there was no deterrent power. The door in front of her slowly opened a crack, revealing a pair of eyes with a look of fear. After seeing Bulma, the eyes immediately became less vigilant. The man breathed a sigh of relief. It turned out to be a girl, not Wulong. You are not from this village, right? In the same village, everyone knows each other. So when the man saw Bulma, he knew she was a foreigner. Bulma nodded. Yes, I passed by this village. Then you should leave quickly. There is a monster near this village. It specializes in catching beautiful girls to be wives. Several girls in our village have been captured by him. Bulma smiled dumbly. Then he laughed generously. It's okay, I'm not afraid of that. It's just catching girls as wives, not eating people, what's so scary? As soon as Bulma said this, the doors of the surrounding rooms opened. Everyone surrounded Bulma and Goku. Girl, are you serious? Chapter 13 Goku's sense of security. A middle-aged man looked at Bulma with some expectation. Excuse me, girl, are you willing to marry Oolong? Bulma looked at the man. She remembered that there was a little girl in his family. When she and Goku came in the previous life, his daughter happened to be favored by Oolong, who wanted to take her back as his wife. Bulma shook her head. Sorry, I came here to find something, not to be someone else's wife. Everyone was curious. What are you looking for? Bulma looked at the people around her. And finally, she set her sights on an old lady. She took out a Dragon Ball, showed it to everyone. And said, everyone, this kind of bead is called a Dragon Ball. My radar sensed that there is one in this village. As long as someone can give me a bead like this, I can help this village eliminate monsters and find the captured girl in the village. The old lady's eyes lit up. Hey, the bead in your hand looks familiar. I have a bead like that. Then the old lady went back to the room and searched for a while. After a while, she took out a Dragon Ball from Bulma. Is it this one? Bulma said with bright eyes. Yes, it is this one. Old lady, I will help your village to get rid of the monsters. Can you give me this bead? The old lady looked at Bulma with some worry. As long as you can get rid of the monsters, I can give you the Dragon Ball. But you are a girl, can you do it? The other villagers also echoed. Yes, that Wulong is very powerful with his ever-changing skills. Bulma patted Goku on the shoulder and said to the old lady, don't worry, it's not me who will deal with the monsters, it's him. The others were stunned for a moment, and then looked at Goku again. He was short and wore children's clothes. The corners of everyone's mouth twitched. What a joke. He's just a kid, how can he beat Wulong? That's right, Wulong is as tall as a house, you're kidding. Girl, you're pretty too. If Wulong takes a fancy to you, you won't be able to leave even if you want to. If you ask me, you should leave quickly. Don't think about the Dragon Ball and sacrifice yourself. Sure enough, because of his figure, little Goku was deeply questioned by everyone. Bulma didn't care, but continued to repeat the conditions. It doesn't matter, we must get the Dragon Ball. Grandma, remember our agreement. We will help your village solve Wulong, and you give me the Dragon Ball. The old lady nodded. That's no problem. At this time, several men looked at Bulma. Also, we have to subdue Wulong and find my daughter back. Yes, we must subdue Wulong and find out the whereabouts of my daughter. Bulma confidently gestured an okay gesture to several people. Don't worry, leave it to Goku. Everyone saw that she was very confident, but they all shook their heads secretly because they felt that Goku's figure was unreliable. At this moment, a series of vibrations were heard. Suddenly, exclamations came from the crowd. Advertisement. Ah, here it comes, Wulong is here. Everyone, hide quickly. As they were talking, the villagers returned to their homes and locked the doors. The village returned to silence again. Goku looked at Bulma. Bulma, are you hiding too? Bulma knew that even if Wulong became bigger, his strength was still very weak. She had abused Wulong a lot when she was young in her previous life, so she was not afraid of him. It's okay. I'm not worried as long as you are here. Son Goku nodded. Yes, I will kill him in an instant. Unexpectedly, Bulma immediately suggested. Well, Goku, if you meet Wulong, please don't kill him. It would be bad if you kill him. Goku nodded thoughtfully. Oh, right, I know. In addition to solving Wulong, we have to rescue the other girls who were captured. Bulma nodded. But Bulma's purpose was not this. The main reason was that Wulong was too weak. She could beat Wulong. Bulma was worried that Goku would kill Wulong with a stick. His crime was not punishable by death. As he was talking, Wulong had already arrived. He turned into a huge monster, holding a bouquet of flowers in his hand. The huge shadow covered countless houses, which seemed a bit oppressive. Wulong laughed and said, ha 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 ha, Wulong is here again. Who has a beautiful girl? Hurry up and hand her over. At this moment, Wulong just walked in front of Bulma and Son Goku. He looked down at Bulma. The face was like an exquisite porcelain doll, the skin was white as snow, and it was shining with a healthy luster. The thick and curled eyelashes, the big eyes flashing with wisdom. Tall and well-proportioned, with a straight chest and beautiful curves. Her long blue hair, as soft as a waterfall, was tied up in a high ponytail, which made her look more smart. The breeze blew by, and it also exuded a faint fragrance. Wu Long's face lit up. Tisk tisk, is this the girl prepared for me by the village? Ha ha ha, not bad, this girl is hot. Who knew that Bulma didn't give him face at all? She looked up at Wu Long and started to taunt him. Hey, Wu Long, don't play tricks. Goku is a good fighter. If you don't want to be beaten, hand over all the girls. Bulma's tone was as if she was threatening Wu Long, and the fact was that she was threatening. The whole village was hiding in the house, secretly watching Goku confront Wu Long through the cracks in the door. However, Wu Long himself was quite tall, like a house. And Goku was only a minor, so everyone was very worried. It was obviously funny for a young girl to threaten a giant 4 or 5 meters tall. Wu Long frowned. Oh, what a fierce girl. Little girl, you made me angry. As he spoke, Wu Long's huge body took another step forward. Wu Long said angrily, it seems that you want to be dealt with by me. As he said that, Wu Long threatened Bulma with his teeth and claws. Son Goku walked to Bulma leisurely, blocked Wu Long for her, and drew out the Rui rod, pointing the sword at Wu Long. Seeing this scene, Bulma's heart suddenly warmed. Although she knew Wu Long's background and was not afraid of him. But it must be said that at this time, with little Goku standing up for her, it really made her feel safe. Unconsciously, a trace of ruddy appeared on her face, which was her expectation and longing for the future grown-up Son Goku. Chapter 14, The Power of a Stick, Scared to Death. The villagers saw that Wu Long was angry and started to whisper. It's over. This kid dared to challenge Wu Long, I'm afraid he will be killed. I'm really worried that he will be stepped on by Wu Long by accident. What a good boy, it's a pity to die. Hey, why did I let an outsider stand up for our village, it's too bullying. Hey, such a young child is going to die, what a pity. That kid is not even as tall as Wu Long's knee, and he dared to point at Wu Long, he really didn't want his life. What a pity. Seeing Goku take out the Rui stick and point it at him, Wu Long drew out a big knife. The sun shone, and the knife reflected a cold light, which seemed to be murderous. The villagers even covered their eyes. They couldn't bear to see this little guy being chopped into meat sauce by Wu Long. Wu Long didn't have any strength, he was just a show-off. He continued to talk nonsense. HMPH. You dare to provoke me. I'm very scary when I'm angry. I'll let you taste my power. Goku hooked his finger. Don't talk so much, come here. Wu Long was despised and furious, swinging his sword towards Goku. The huge body and the cold and sharp flash of the sword did give a great sense of oppression. This acting skill even made Bulma, who knew Oolong's background, a little nervous. Similarly, the villagers in the house saw such an angry Oolong taking action, and their pupils trembled. They seemed to see a small figure, cut in two by the sword. The strong fear made them foresee the tragic scene of little Goku's head falling off. The speechless panic surged in their hearts, and their scalps were numb. Several girls in the village who were of good age and appearance, the most likely to be captured by Oolong, looked at the little Goku. Nervously clenched their hands into fists and blocked their mouths. Little hero, don't die. Some girls were so scared that their legs went limp that they knelt in their own houses. They seemed to have seen the end of little Goku. One girl turned around and said, Dad, I'll go out and let me marry Wu Long. It's a pity to let him die. The parents immediately stopped the girl from talking nonsense. Don't make trouble, hide well. Wu Long is already angry, no one can save him. Just when Wu Long's sword was about to hit Goku's neck, Goku tilted his head and escaped the sword lightly. His speed was too slow. Especially in Goku's eyes, it was like slow motion. The next moment, Goku said, You are too slow, you look weak at first glance. While speaking, Son Goku jumped up, swung the Rui stick with both hands and smashed it towards Wu Long. Bulma was shocked. Goku, don't kill him. Goku naturally didn't want to kill him, and deliberately slowed down the Rui stick a little. Wu Long also took advantage of his slowdown and retreated narrowly, avoiding the blow. However, Wu Long did avoid it. But the Rui stick hit the ground in front of Wu Long fiercely. In an instant, a shocking sound broke out, shaking the whole village. The fierce blow caused layers of air waves, and the powerful attack set off a huge strong wind. Crack, 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 crack. Advertisement. Following the direction of the Rui stick, the bluestone slabs on the street instantly cracked a long crack, which spread outside the village until it could not be seen. Everyone took a breath of cold air. What a powerful blow. Just as everyone was amazed at the boundless power of this blow, the crack in the ground widened again, forming a half-meter wide crack. Wu Long's legs softened when he saw this scene, and he dared not look directly at Son Goku. He could not imagine that the little guy in front of him was so fierce. This stick, which broke mountains and cracked rocks, was far beyond his imagination. He could not understand that if this stick hit him, his bones would probably be broken into ashes. If it was an ordinary enemy, Wu Long would have turned into a bird and flew away. However, facing such a fierce attack, he lost the courage to escape. He was too powerful, he could not escape. Plop. Wu Long suddenly knelt down in front of Goku and kowtowed. Please spare my life, my good man. Don't kill me, I plead guilty. Son Goku casually inserted the Rui stick into the sheath behind his back, and then looked at Bulma. Solved. Bulma, you come from behind. Bulma breathed a sigh of relief and nodded. She was a little surprised. Goku was more powerful than in his previous life. Now he was only this big, but he actually cracked the earth with a stick. She was also worried about Wulong just now. She was really afraid that Goku would beat Wulong to death with one stick. However, Goku's demeanor just now was really amazing, he was so handsome. At this moment, Wulong turned into a piglet, and knelt pitifully in front of Goku and Bulma. In addition, his crotch was wet. The villagers saw Goku's invincible stick and Wulong, who was scared out of his wits. And they all lost their fear of Wulong and walked out of the door. Young man, your martial arts are so powerful. That's right, that stick just now was so cool. Young man, do you want a wife? If you do, wait until you rescue my daughter and let her marry you. You don't know, my daughter has always admired great heroes, and she is willing to be your daughter. Another villager on the side immediately said, my daughter was not captured by Wulong, and her body is absolutely clean. See how about letting my daughter be your wife in the future? As he said, the man pulled her daughter over. A pretty little girl, blushing and lowering her head, dared not look at Goku. Unexpectedly, another villager came over with his daughter. Young man, you should consider my daughter. Look at her, she has a big butt, can give birth, and it's a sure win. Seeing the suggestions of several villagers, Bulma was very upset. Enough. As soon as Bulma's voice came out, the air was instantly quiet. From Goku's performance, they knew that you can't judge a person by his appearance. Little Son Goku is so fierce, this girl who came with him. Maybe she is even more powerful. It seems that they all understand that. Goku must be someone to her and must not be provoked. Chapter 15, Attack in the Wilderness. Seeing that everyone in the village was looking at her tremblingly, Bulma let out a breath and continued, everyone, business is important. Since Wulong has been subdued, let's save the captured girl first. Everyone nodded in agreement. Yes, the lady is right. At this time, the old lady handed the Dragon Ball to Bulma. Little girl, you are such a great bodyguard, this ball is for you. Bulma took the Dragon Ball and responded, thank you. If anyone wants to find their daughter, follow me quickly. I. Several old men hurried over. Soon, many villagers followed Wulong's manner in a mighty manner. Wulong was almost scared to death by Goku's stick, and he didn't even dare to run halfway. As expected by Bulma and Goku, Wulong's manor was very large and could be considered magnificent. None of the girls he kidnapped were abused, and they were all enjoying their lives in Wulong's manor. After solving the problem of Wulong and getting the Dragon Ball, Bulma and Goku set out on a new journey again. There was no way, Goku's stick just now was too cool. She was a little worried that the villagers here were not normal and actually wanted to send her daughter away. She didn't dare to stay here with Goku. Chichi's pit was a shadow of her life. If Goku was deceived by a little girl, she would lose a lot. As for Wulong, Bulma didn't take him with her. A fool who can only transform and is particularly lustful, he is not needed when Goku is here. Without staying in the village, Bulma and Goku soon stepped on the somersault cloud and headed towards the sixth Dragon Ball, the Flame Mountain. It would take 3 or 4 days to drive, but with the somersault cloud, it only takes 1.5 days to get there. If you go at full speed, you can actually get there in half a day. It's just that the speed is too fast, and Bulma's body can't bear it. Her body is not as thick as Goku's, and she can't withstand the wind resistance of supersonic speed. While speeding along, Bulma saw the mountains and rivers that she had experienced in her previous life but ignored. The lake was as clear as a mirror, and their reflections were like a golden ribbon. Freely shuttled between the mountains and on the water. The wind brought by the somersault cloud caused ripples on the water. Like the gentle swing of a girl's skirt, elegant and moving. The water surface was sparkling, reflecting the mountains on both sides. Like gems inlaid in jade, shining brightly. Bulma looked at the beautiful scenery and unconsciously emptied her mind. Only people like her who have experienced darkness personally can always find that the world is really beautiful everywhere. After half a day of flying, the two finally walked out of the mountains and rivers. They came to the sky above the desert. Just when Bulma wanted to ask Goku if he still wanted to run forward. Goku's stomach growled. Bulma smiled. Oh, I forgot to eat. Why didn't you tell me earlier that you were hungry? Goku smiled awkwardly. I ate so much this morning, and I didn't do much exercise today, so I'm hungry. It's a bit unreasonable. Just tell me if you're hungry. Besides, it's already noon. We have plenty of food. So, how about we land here and have lunch first? Okay. Bulma looked around and saw a flat ground. She shouted, somersault cloud, land there. Soon, Bulma opened the capsule house and began to arrange lunch. Goku was hungry and did not practice. He just sat on the sofa and watched TV casually. Seeing Bulma's busy back in the open kitchen, Goku's eyes flashed a smile. Bulma is such a good girl. Not only is she beautiful and has a good figure, but she also has an excellent personality. She lives in the richest man's family, but she is not unreasonable like a young lady. She even cooks and takes care of him. Bulma is really excellent. Not only does she have a high IQ, but she is also brave and adventurous. She is kind-hearted, compassionate, independent and autonomous. At this moment, Son Goku thought of Bulma in the future and decisively labeled her a strong woman. He could not analyze it carefully because she was too perfect. Son Goku thought about it and realized that his conditions were far from being worthy of her in a peaceful world. Because Bulma prepared a lot of semi-finished food. In just half an hour, a feast for Goku's favorite food was served. Goku, wash your hands and start eating. Wow, it smells so good. Goku quickly rinsed his hands, wiped them casually. Sat on the chair and started to show off his food. Advertisement. The wonderful taste instantly bloomed on his tongue. Son Goku felt that the moment the food entered his mouth. His soul was like that exaggerated whisk, swaying in the wind. Wow, it's so delicious. While Goku was eating steak and bacon, Bulma peeled a few prawns for him with an anti-smile on her face and poured him a glass of juice. Eat slowly, don't choke. Come, eat a few prawns and drink some drinks. Goku took the plate and the drink. Well, thank you Bulma. Bulma raised the corners of her mouth and pretended to be angry. We are good friends, don't be so polite to me. Goku was stunned for a moment, then smiled. Well, we are good friends. Well, I won't be polite then. Yeah, eat. Goku started eating again. Bulma looked at Goku eating and her appetite was also aroused. She picked up the bowl and started eating. Just when the two were eating happily, there was a sudden explosion. Their house suddenly shook violently. With the shaking, dust fell from the roof. In an instant, the food on the table that had not been finished was covered with a layer of dust. Crack, crack. The sound of the building breaking was heard by the two. Feeling that the roof seemed to be damaged and something was about to fall. Bulma was still in a daze and didn't understand what was going on. But Son Goku had stopped eating and threw himself on Bulma to shield her from the falling objects. As expected, the next moment, when Goku pounced on Bulma, several bricks suddenly fell, but fortunately they only hit Goku, who had thick skin and flesh. As the beams fell, the capsule house collapsed in an instant, and the rubble and bricks collapsed, and the two were buried in the ruins. Chapter 16. The butterfly effect is so terrifying. At this moment, not far from the collapsed capsule house, a young man with a knife on his waist was standing there. He was carrying a rocket launcher on his shoulder, and there was a faint blue smoke coming out of the muzzle. He was the wilderness robber Yamcha, and he was looking at the collapsed capsule house with an arrogant look on his face. It seems that the quality of this capsule house is not good. It's really not strong. It was destroyed by a cannon. What a pity. As soon as the voice fell, a piece of bricks and rubble scattered in the ruins. Son Goku got out of the ruins and propped up some buildings. And Bulma was still squatting there. Yamcha didn't see Bulma, but saw the short little Goku. He was stunned for a moment, and then laughed. Ha ha ha, it's actually a child. Robbery. If you want to survive, hand over all the valuables on your body. As he said, Yamcha drew out a long knife and pointed it at Son Goku. At this moment, Bulma also shook off the dust on her body, stood up, and looked at Yamcha. The moment she saw him, Bulma's nameless anger suddenly increased. The resentment of past and present lives surged in her heart in an instant. In the past life, after finding the Dragon Ball with little Goku, Bulma felt that she had found the Prince Charming, that is, Yamcha. So she took him back to the West City. However, the good times did not last long. Because of his handsome appearance and a bit of banditry, he was very popular with girls. In the West City, many girls flirted with him. It also unlocked his fickle nature, attracting bees and butterflies all day long, endlessly. In the past life, because of the existence of this unreliable Yamcha, Bulma wasted the most beautiful 10 years of her youth in her life. She also missed Son Goku. Moreover, he always disappeared, missing for several years at a time. Even if Bulma wanted to break up with him, she couldn't find him to tell. Finally, after returning from Namek, Bulma cut off her relationship with him. I thought she would never have any more contact with him. Unexpectedly, this time she didn't lose the universal capsule in Gaolaozwang. But had her house blown up by this guy. This is intolerable. Bulma was furious, pointing at Yamcha and angrily said, "Damn it, you guy, you actually destroyed my house." Then Bulma turned to look at Goku, and then instructed, "Goku, cut him." Son Goku blinked in astonishment, looked at Yamcha, and then looked back at Bulma. A trace of doubt flashed in his eyes again. Advertisement. He wondered if he had heard it wrong. Bulma actually asked him to beat Yamcha. It doesn't fit her character. At this moment, a thought flashed through Goku's mind. He couldn't help but take a breath. The butterfly effect is really terrible. Isn't she obsessed with handsome guys like Yamcha? How come she doesn't look like she likes handsome guys at all? Is this still Bulma? The butterfly effect actually changed Bulma's aesthetics. Terrible. However, Goku thought about it and it seemed that the logic was right. After the future Big Trot traveled through time and space and returned to the past. The android 17 and 18, who were supposed to be in the cholera world, changed their personalities and became good people. No matter who saw it, it was difficult to overlap them with the two murderous demons in the future. Son Goku took a deep breath and silently accepted this reality. Then looked at Yamcha, with a look of pity on his face. His left hand held his right hand, and it clenched lightly, making a crackling sound. With a fierce breath, he walked towards Yamcha. Since Yamcha is still a robber, beating him up. Even if it is to enforce justice, it is not too much, right? Originally, Yamcha was still very arrogant when he saw Goku. But when he saw Bulma, his legs softened instantly. He has a phobia of women. Yamcha's legs trembled, and he stammered, damn it, why is there a woman here? Puer, let's go. As he spoke, Son Goku flashed and blocked Yamcha's way. The next moment, Goku pulled out his Rui stick and pointed it at Yamcha. Where are you running? Just as Goku was about to hit him with a stick, Bulma's voice came out. Goku, just teach him a lesson, don't kill him. Goku thought to himself, well, although Bulma doesn't like handsome guys anymore, she is kind-hearted and doesn't like killing people. Coincidentally, he is the same. Goku didn't even look at Bulma, and directly responded with 2 words, got it. The next moment, Goku approached Yamcha in an instant and hit Yamcha's calf with a stick, and he immediately fell flat on his face. After Yamcha fell, Son Goku hit him with a set of combination punches without missing a single one, and instantly beat Yamcha black and blue. After Son Goku stopped, Yamcha was lying on the ground, covered with wounds. Puer, who was standing by, felt extremely distressed. Master, are you okay? Don't die. Yamcha opened his swollen eyes and looked at Puer through the gap. He had a crooked mouth and slanted eyes, a big bag on his face, and even lost 7 or 8 teeth. Puer, hurry up, help me up, run. Goku made way for them to leave. Bulma walked out of the ruins after watching Yamcha limping away. She looked at Yamcha's back with contempt, then turned to look at Goku. My capsule house is destroyed. Without a house, we won't rest, let's continue on our way. Son Goku nodded. Okay, luckily I ate half full, let's go. 17 Chichi. Bulma put his hands in the shape of a megaphone, and shouted to the sky, somersault cloud. The somersault cloud appeared in an instant and swooped directly in front of Bulma. Goku looked at the picture of Bulma and the somersault cloud and was a little absent-minded. He had never thought of the picture of Bulma riding the somersault cloud. A moment later, Bulma rode the somersault cloud and turned into golden light and flew towards the west. Goku's training must not be neglected. He walked with a weight and followed Bulma on the somersault cloud, crossing mountains and ridges all the way to the Flame Mountain. 3 days later, the two felt that the weather was getting hotter and hotter. Bulma realized that even if Goku used his legs, his speed was fast enough. The destination of the 6th Dragon Ball Flame Mountain is coming. It seems that it is time to meet Chichi. Bulma thought that she had to give him a shot of prevention. She had been reborn, but she was still following Goku closely. If he got married to Chichi again, she might as well find a piece of tofu and die. She controlled the cloud to lower the altitude and approached Goku. Hey, Goku, are you hungry? Goku stopped jogging and looked up. I'm a little hungry. Is it time to eat? Bulma said. Our house was damaged and a lot of food was wasted. There is still a little food in the capsules on me, which is not enough for your meal. This is what I thought. It's getting dark, so let's stop here today. I haven't taken a shower for 3 days, and my whole body is itchy. Let's find a small town to rest, have a good meal, and replenish some food. Then take a shower to cool down, and set off tomorrow, okay? Goku looked into the distance, and there was no shadow of the Flame Mountain. But thinking of the scene of Ox King's castle being engulfed by fire, Goku had already thought of a countermeasure in his mind. It seems that there is no need to go to Master Roshi. He feels that with his current strength, his Kamehameha is enough to put out the fire. Since there is no need to find Master Roshi, there is no need to arrange anything in advance. Just go there after eating and drinking. Son Goku nodded. Okay, then take a day off and go after eating and drinking. By the way, do you know which direction the nearby town is? Bulma shook her head and said, I don't know. But I have a way. Come on up, we will search faster on the somersault cloud. That's right, let's look for it together. Goku put the weight into the universal capsule, then jumped on the somersault cloud, and searched for the nearby town with Bulma. The setting sun gradually fell to the horizon, and the sky was painted with a thick sunset glow like fire. The golden afterglow sprinkled on the desert, coating the clouds and sand dunes with a layer of dazzling gold. Bulma looked at the horizon and said excitedly, Goku, look, this is the fire cloud, so beautiful. Yeah, so beautiful. Bulma, let's find the town quickly. Let the somersault cloud go faster. If we can't find it when it gets dark, we can only sleep in the desert. The sunset and the sunset glow were not very attractive in Goku's eyes. And his answer was a bit too perfunctory. Bulma was helpless, he had no interest in such a beautiful scenery. However, this is Goku, he doesn't have that kind of aesthetic cell. Bulma nodded and pointed in a direction. Somersault cloud, speed up. After receiving the command, the somersault cloud rushed forward. The two people rode on the somersault cloud, and the wind finally dissipated the trace of heat. Suddenly, a scream resounded through the sky, attracting the attention of the two. The two looked in the direction of the cry for help. Not far away, a huge dinosaur was chasing a cute little girl. The little girl was wearing something strange, like a swimsuit. She had a strange hat on her head with a blade installed on it. The shape was like Ultraman 7. Bulma's pupils shrank when she saw the little girl. She knew who she was at once. Near the Flame Mountain, there was a cute little girl. And that small but familiar face, it must be Chichi, the daughter of Ox King. At this moment, the dinosaur roared and opened its big mouth to bite Chichi. Fortunately, Chichi covered her butt in panic, increased a little speed and ran forward, narrowly avoiding the bite of the dinosaur. However, the dinosaur was still chasing her. Advertisement. In Bulma's eyes, if nothing unexpected happened, little Chichi would be buried in the dinosaur's mouth next time. She didn't have time to think about it, and immediately called Goku to save her. At the same time, Goku looked at the running girl and naturally recognized her as Chichi. But Goku knew Chichi's strength and had no intention of helping. After all, she is the daughter of Ox King, not that weak. She only needs to press the switch on her head, and the blade on her head can directly cut the dinosaur. In fact, Goku was also looking forward to this scene. However, just when Goku was expecting Chichi's big move, Bulma took the lead and shouted at him. Goku, save people. Goku was stunned for a moment, as if Chichi was being chased too closely and couldn't make a move. Then he immediately took out the Ruyi stick and jumped off the somersault cloud. Ruyi stick, extend. In an instant, the Ruyi stick became longer and was swept out by Goku. The Ruyi stick came with a strong gust of wind, and hit the tall dinosaur's head at once. The next moment, the dinosaur's head was directly blown up, and the huge body fell heavily to the ground. Goku turned over and landed steadily in front of Chichi. Are you okay? Bulma saw the dinosaur was killed in seconds, and rushed to Chichi on the somersault cloud. Chichi stopped and looked at Son Goku and Bulma curiously. Finally, she kept her eyes on Son Goku. Her little face suddenly turned red. She covered her cheeks with her hands and said shyly, "It was really dangerous just now, thank you for saving me. But now I have nothing to repay you. Otherwise, when I grow up, I will marry you as a bride." While Chichi was still hesitating, Bulma jumped down from the somersault cloud. No. Chapter 18 Love Brain Chichi. After a short time together, Chichi explained her purpose to Bulma and Goku. Because she heard that Master Roshi had a palm leaf fan, which could call the wind and rain and put out the fire in the flame mountain. And Master Roshi was Ox King's teacher. With this relationship, Master Roshi would definitely lend it to him. So Ox King sent Chichi to borrow the fan from Master Roshi. But they hadn't walked out of the vicinity of the flame mountain yet. Bulma listened to Chichi's complete account and couldn't help but complain. Your father Ox King is really generous. He didn't even know where Master Roshi was, and let a child of your age go on foot to find him. If it wasn't for Goku just now, you would have been eaten by a dinosaur. Chichi looked at Bulma with some curiosity. You just said, do you know the whereabouts of Master Roshi? Bulma nodded. Yes. Chichi's eyes brightened. Really? Bulma nodded again. Chichi said excitedly. That's great, can you take me to find Master Roshi? Bulma nodded again. Of course, I can. However, the purpose of my trip is to find the Dragon Ball. Anyway, I don't need this little time. In order to get the Dragon Ball safely, I need to make a deal with your father. I help him find a way to put out the fire in the flame mountain, and he gives me the Dragon Ball. Chichi nodded. So that's how it is. Among the treasures that my father has robbed over the years, there should be something called Dragon Ball. Okay, it's settled. I'll take you to see my father tomorrow. Bulma nodded. Okay. Then Bulma changed the subject. By the way, Chichi. You are still a child, and a girl, you must know how to protect yourself. Don't always talk about being someone else's bride in the future. Girls should be more subtle. Chichi's smart eyes moved. Well, you're right, girls should be more reserved. Bulma breathed a sigh of relief. Yes. That's right. However, Chichi raised doubts again. But, I saw in TV dramas that after the hero rescues the beauty, he has to marry her. Bulma frowned. Your parents are too irresponsible. They actually let you, a child, watch a romance movie. Hearing Bulma's words, Chichi's originally lively eyes immediately drooped. I don't have a mother. My father often goes out to rob, and I can only watch TV at home alone. Bulma was choked. Before rebirth, she had never seen Ox King's wife, nor Chichi's mother. It seemed that she had touched on someone else's sad things. However, Bulma couldn't help but raise her own questions. After all, it was too difficult to suppress curiosity. How could you not have a mother? Could it be that your father picked you up? Chichi showed a hint of pride on her face. My father said that I originally had two mothers, but they always fought. My father was afraid that they would lead me astray, so he drove them away. My father also asked me to tell others that I was given this as a gift when I recharged my phone bill. Bulma was speechless. Hee hee. What kind of family combination is this? It's even weirder than my own family. I shouldn't listen to a child's nonsense. Advertisement. Just at this moment, there was a fragrance and the sound of sizzling barbecue. Goku looked at the two of them. You are all hungry, it will be cooked soon. After saying that, Goku picked up a piece of roasted dragon meat. Cut it into large slices, put it on a plate, and sent it to Bulma and Chichi. How does it taste? Bulma and Chichi looked at each other, and then took a bite of the meat. The next moment, their eyes brightened. Bulma was surprised and said, wow, it's delicious. Chichi also looked happy and agreed, yes, it's really delicious. I have never eaten such delicious food in my life. Bulma gave Goku a thumbs up and praised, Goku, your barbecue is great. Goku smiled proudly, of course. My grandfather said that the roasted dinosaur meat I make is especially delicious. This is my specialty. If you too like it, eat more, as much as you want. Goku also picked up a large piece of barbecue and started to eat it. Chichi finished a piece of barbecue and began to look at Goku in a trance. Goku noticed her gaze and turned to look at Chichi. What's wrong? Why don't you eat? Chichi said seriously. Goku, you are not only good at martial arts, but you can also grill meat. You are so good. I have decided that I will work hard to learn how to cook and become a good wife when I grow up. So, Goku, can you marry me when you grow up? Hearing Chichi's words, Bulma couldn't help but frown. Good guy. They didn't talk for a long time, but Chichi said 8 times that she wanted to be his bride. Could it be that this matter was destined by heaven? No wonder Chichi was able to kidnap Goku at the martial arts meeting that year. Chichi and Goku were both ignorant at this age, and Goku still didn't understand what marriage meant when he grew up. So, it was difficult to miss the martial arts meeting. Goku married Chichi in a muddle because of this childhood joke agreement. No way. Bulma was very unwilling to lose to Chichi who came from heaven like this. Just when Bulma was about to interrupt Chichi, Goku spoke. He said seriously, Chichi, marriage is an adult matter. We are all children, so let's not talk about these topics. Chichi looked at Goku and blinked. Oh, well, my marriage should indeed be left to my father. Son Goku. Yeah, Bulma finally breathed a sigh of relief after knowing Goku's attitude. Although it seems that she did nothing, the result was achieved. Chapter 19 Let Chichi be the mistress. The next day, Bulma, Chichi and little Goku, the 3 of them squeezed on the somersault cloud and went to the Flame Mountain. Because they were almost moving at full speed, the 3 of them arrived at their destination in just 1 hour. This place was close to the fire and was extremely hot. The 3 of them were already sweating profusely. Chichi saw Ox King and jumped off the somersault cloud first. Dad, I'm back. Ox King was surprised when he saw the somersault cloud. Oh, Chichi is so amazing. He found Master Mutant so quickly and brought back his somersault cloud. Chichi immediately explained. No, Dad. I didn't find Master Mutant, this somersault cloud belongs to Bulma. They saved me last night, you have to thank them well. As they were talking, Bulma and Son Goku both got off the somersault cloud. Ox King saw that the people who got off the somersault cloud were not Master Roshi, but a man and a woman he didn't know, and he was curious. Hey, what's going on? Why are you sitting on the teacher's somersault cloud? Where did your somersault cloud come from? Ox King asked curiously. Bulma explained. Of course Master Roshi gave it to us. Ox King was a little disappointed, I was so happy for nothing. It turns out that the teacher didn't come, what a pity. However, since the teacher can give you the somersault cloud, you should know where the teacher is, right? Bulma nodded. Yes, I know. At this moment, Chichi grabbed Ox King and told him what Bulma wanted. Dad, Bulma said she has something to tell you. She said she can help you put out the fire. In exchange, you have to give her a Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball. Ox King scratched his head, he didn't know what a Dragon Ball was. At this moment, Bulma took out a Dragon Ball. Mr. Ox King, this is the Dragon Ball. According to my radar reaction, there should be a Dragon Ball in your castle. Ox King looked at the Dragon Ball and seemed to remember it. So it's this thing. Yes, I should have seen this. No problem, as long as you can help me borrow the teacher's banana fan to put out the fire. I will give you the bead when I can enter the castle. Hearing Ox King agreed, Bulma's mouth curled up a faint smile. Okay, let's say it. It's settled. After saying that, Bulma looked at Goku. Goku, you try Kamehameha. If you can't put out the fire, I will go to Master Roshi. Okay, Son Goku responded. Hearing Kamehameha, Ox King was surprised again, he looked at Son Goku. You said Kamehameha, could it be that you know the teacher's special skill Kamehameha? Son Goku nodded. Ah, yes, I can. Ox King was very surprised. When I was learning from Master Mutant, I couldn't learn Kamehameha. I didn't expect that you could learn this move at such a young age. Advertisement. It seems that you are very talented. I think the teacher must be very happy to have a disciple like you. Son Goku shook his head. No, I didn't become a disciple. My martial arts and Qigong were taught to me by my grandfather. Grandpa taught you. As soon as he finished speaking, Ox King saw Son Goku's Rui stick again. Hey, is this stick of yours a Rui stick? Son Goku nodded. Yes, it is a Rui stick. It was also given to me by my grandfather, his name is Son Gohan. Ox King's pupils trembled. Son Gohan. So you are his grandson. Ha 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 ha, we are not outsiders. Your grandfather is the eldest disciple of Master Mutant, and I am the second disciple. In addition, you are the grandson of Son Gohan, our relationship is too close. While speaking, Ox King looked at Chichi. I was so excited just now that I forgot everything. I just heard Chichi say that you saved her last night, right? Bulma and Goku looked at each other, and it seemed that it was exactly the same as Master Roshi's gift of the somersault cloud. Could he also give a gift? Both Bulma and Goku nodded. Yes, we saved her. Ox King immediately pulled Chichi over. That's fate. Goku, isn't Chichi cute? Son Goku didn't understand and responded, ah, yes, Chichi is cute. Hearing Goku praise her cuteness, Chichi's little face suddenly blushed. But Bulma's face began to look abnormal. Because, she seemed to remember something. Ox King continued, then how about this, anyway, you and Chichi are about the same age. Our relationship can be further developed. I will arrange a baby marriage for you too. And you can get married when you grow up, okay. Hate, Dad, Chichi covered her face shyly. But her big eyes tried hard to look through her fingers to see Goku. To know his reaction, very cute. Watching Ox King trying hard to promote Chichi, Goku was speechless on the spot. Could it be that his marriage with Chichi was destined? Goku was thinking about life. But at this moment Bulma interrupted Ox King with a shout. Not good. Ox King, Chichi and Goku were all stunned and looked at Bulma. Seeing Bulma's appearance and figure, they were also first class. Ox King was the first to react. Oh, I see, I smell a lot of jealousy. You are going to marry Goku in the future, right? Bulma's mouth twitched and said, no, not. Halfway through, Bulma reacted again. What did she refute? It was exposed that she wanted to marry the grown-up Goku. Before she could explain, Ox King laughed. Okay, I know you're jealous. You must like Goku too. It's okay. You can be the first wife. When Chichi grows up, you can let her marry Goku and be the second wife. But don't bully Chichi. My wife Tishan always quarrels with my concubine Yumian. I had no choice but to send them to live outside. Bulma's face darkened. I thought you didn't have a wife, but you married 2 brides. Ox King patted his chest. That's. If I didn't have to worry about not having time to take care of Chichi, I could still marry another wife. Bulma. Seeing that Bulma's face was not right, Ox King continued. Don't worry, even the king doesn't dare to control me anyway. I will kill anyone who dares to oppose me. Son Goku immediately said. Uncle Ox King, it's wrong for you to kill people like this. Your reputation is not good either, and it has affected the reputation of Kame Senryu. I suggest you don't do that kind of thing. Chapter 20 Kamehameha Fire Extinguishing. Ox King heard Goku actually accusing him, and a bitter smile appeared on his face, but it was still fleeting. Hey, I'm just saying that. If I'm not a little fierce, there will be outsiders coveting my family's treasures. Right, Chichi. Chichi nodded immediately. Yeah, Dad is right. Dad has become a good man, and he has not killed people for a long time. Anyway, since I know things, I have never seen Dad kill people. Ox King's face became serious, and he continued to say to Goku, Goku, what do you think of my proposal just now? Although you are still a little young, I am very serious. Chichi will definitely agree, it depends on you. After speaking, Chichi also looked at Goku with expectation. Although Ox King greeted him with a smile, he was somewhat forcing Goku to answer. Son Goku didn't want to agree to him, but he was afraid of hurting the young Chichi, and didn't know what to say, so he secretly pulled Bulma. Bulma understood and responded immediately. Uncle Ox King, you are Chichi's father, you can decide her marriage, but not Goku's. After all, he is still a minor and does not have complete discernment. He cannot decide for himself. However, you and Son Gohan are brothers, and Son Gohan is Goku's grandfather. I think Goku and Chichi's marriage when they grow up can be discussed with Son Gohan. Ox King thought and touched his chin, thinking. He is an adult, so he naturally saw that Son Goku was somewhat resistant to marriage. There is no way. Boys generally mature later than girls, especially straight boys, who are keen on adventure and do not understand the relationship between men and women. At the same time, he also saw that Bulma, who likes Goku, did not want to share Son Goku with Chichi. They saved Chichi, so it would be meaningless to turn against each other and force them. What to do? Just as Ox King was thinking, Chichi pulled Ox King hard. Dad. Ox King turned to look at Chichi. Chichi, what's wrong? Chichi blushed and said, then when the fire in our house is out, you can go to your senior brother Gohan to propose marriage, okay? Looking at Chichi's expression, Ox King was speechless. Good guy, he didn't expect that. His good daughter Chichi had been deeply infatuated with Son Goku, and was so proactive. Ox King was about to persuade her, but Chichi started to act like a spoiled child. Good dad, okay. Ox King scratched his head awkwardly and smiled at Chichi dotingly. Okay, we are all family. When the fire in our house is out, I will go to my senior brother to propose marriage. Chichi's face flushed. Thank you, Dad is so nice. Because Chichi is relatively small and very cute. Any fancy coquetry and cuteness will not be inconsistent, but more likable. Bulma was speechless for a moment when she saw Chichi's performance. No wonder she lost to Chichi in her previous life and didn't get Goku. It turns out that although Chichi is young and doesn't even understand many things, her awareness of competing with Goku is already so strong. Bulma thought, if she was asked to act like a spoiled child and pursue Goku, she couldn't do it. This kind of thing is too shameful for a girl who is a few years older than her. Finally, the ball of engagement with Chichi was kicked to Son Gohan, and Goku and Bulma were relieved. Soon, it was time to put out the fire with Kamehameha. Goku jumped onto the abandoned city wall alone, squatted down, put his hands in a calyx shape, put his palms on his waist and began to accumulate energy. Kameha, Hi, Chi. Goku began to have an aura around him, and an invisible wave of air wrapped around Goku. And a strong blue-white light appeared on his palm. Ox King, Chichi and Bulma who were watching the game held their breath. Ox King said expectantly. It's really Kamehameha. Look, the shock wave is coming out. Wave. It happened in a flash. The light ball in Son Goku's palms exploded with strong light in an instant. He pushed his palms forward suddenly, and a dazzling ki blast suddenly blasted into the fire. Boom. As the Qigong blasted towards the flame mountain, a hurricane was set off. Advertisement. The strong wind made them unable to look straight, and they all blocked their eyes, and their feet were tightly grasping the ground. After a bang, the sky changed color. The sky that was originally burned red by the flames returned to the clear blue sky. A cool breeze blew, and the air became cool in an instant. Everyone looked at the flame mountain again, and only a bare castle stood under the clear blue sky. Son Goku breathed a sigh of relief, and his muscles relaxed. Huh, success. Chichi showed a look of surprise on his face, and his eyes looking at Goku were brighter than before. Goku, you are really amazing. Ox King also gave a thumbs up. Goku is so amazing. You must have practiced very hard, and your skills have caught up with your senior brother. Bulma looked at the almost intact castle and smiled with satisfaction. Goku is still young after all, and Ki Blast is not as powerful as Master Roshi, but it just happened not to destroy the castle. This result couldn't be better. Not only is it easier to find Dragon Balls, but Ox King's family doesn't have to go bankrupt because of this. Chichi can still enjoy a wealthy life for a long time. I hope she can live like a real little princess, and won't become as fierce as in her previous life. The high temperature dissipated, and everyone came to Ox King's castle. His treasures were all there, and Bulma also got the 6th Dragon Ball. Ox King sent people to buy a lot of ingredients, and held a party in the castle to entertain Goku and Bulma. For 3 days and 3 nights, the castle was brightly lit. It was not until the morning of the 4th day that Bulma and Goku left the castle. On the somersault cloud, Goku, do you want to marry Chichi when you grow up? I haven't thought about it. Why, she should be a good wife. Chichi is a good girl, yes, but I want to become stronger, I want to practice, I may not have time to accompany her, so I think that if I marry her when I grow up, I will harm her. Bulma looked at Son Goku in shock. She didn't expect that the little Goku in this life would have such an awareness. Goku turned his head and looked at Bulma. What's wrong, Bulma? Bulma shook her head. It's okay, I didn't expect you to be so thoughtful at such a young age. But you are right, this is also a manifestation of responsibility to Chichi. Bulma, can you be faster? Okay. Unconsciously, the corners of Bulma's mouth have been raised to the sky with joy. 21 exploded by my daughter-in-law. Near Pilaf's base, Xiao Wu stood on a huge plant. Through the instrument, she detected the whereabouts of Bulma and Goku, that is, the whereabouts of Dragon Ball. That's right, this group of clowns also made an accurate Dragon Ball radar. She picked up the communicator. King Pilaf, I detected the signal of Dragon Ball at location 15. After many confirmations, their means of transportation seemed to be a golden cloud. Okay, yes, it's them, prepare for battle. Okay, got it. Xiao Wu hung up the communicator and contacted Ash. Attention, attention, Dragon Ball is moving at a constant speed. Intercept Dragon Ball, this is it. Aim the missile at the trajectory of Dragon Ball and launch it. Goku and Bulma passed the village of the Rabbit Army. Under Bulma's command, Goku easily solved the Rabbit Army without too much consumption, and the radar showed that Dragon Ball was not far away. So they continued to move forward without resting. Try to get the last Dragon Ball before dark. Anyway, the somersault cloud is on automatic cruise. At this moment, both of them fell asleep on the somersault cloud. Just when both of them were sleeping soundly, a missile hit the somersault cloud. With a muffled sound of bang, the somersault cloud dispersed. Bulma and Son Goku suddenly woke up, only to find that they were both falling. At the same time, the bag of Dragon Balls on Bulma's body also scattered. After falling for a distance, Bulma finally woke up and realized that she was not dreaming. Bulma yelled, Goku, help. Goku rubbed his eyes. Although his thinking was a little slow, he seemed to understand. Their somersault cloud was hit by someone, so they both fell down. But he couldn't fly yet, so there was no way for a while. Even if he fell, he wouldn't die. But Bulma couldn't do it. At the moment when Bulma called for help, Son Goku hugged Bulma tightly. Bulma, hold on tight. Son Goku pulled out the Ruyi stick with one hand and shouted, Ruyi stick, get longer. In an instant, the Ruyi stick extended out. At this moment, Bulma had locked Son Goku with both legs and feet. Goku's hands were freed, holding the Ruyi stick with both hands. And slashed at the huge mushroom-shaped plant fiercely. Crack, the huge plant was split by the Ruyi stick. However, Goku's goal was achieved, and he slowed down by smashing the plant. The Ruyi stick hit the plant with one head and continued to go down. The plant split from the top and spread downwards. It stopped until the root of the plant, that is, reached the ground. It was because of this that Goku and Bulma got enough cushioning. After a while, both of them landed smoothly. Bulma's legs and feet were weak, and she sat on the ground and gasped. Hoo, it's so dangerous, I was really scared just now. Bulma said with lingering fear. She also checked it secretly. Well, she didn't wet her pants this time. After riding the somersault cloud for a few days, she became much braver than before. Goku stood up and looked around, looking for the enemy. At this moment, a plane came into view not far away. Advertisement. But it was getting farther and farther away. Son Goku pointed at the plane and said, Bulma, it was them who blew up the somersault cloud. And that's why we fell. They stole the Dragon Ball. Bulma was startled and touched her bag. As expected, the Dragon Ball was taken away when it fell just now. Ah, the Dragon Ball that I collected with great difficulty is really lost. Bulma looked up at the plane and shouted, Goku, use the Ruyi rod quickly to shoot the plane down. However, as soon as the voice fell, Bulma was speechless. Because Bulma saw the plane, and even saw the pilot on the plane. As Shu was driving the plane, Xiao Wu was holding her bag of Dragon Ball with a proud face. Seeing Xiao Wu's face, how could Bulma not be surprised? In the future time and space, Xiao Wu is the leader of the Revolutionary Army. It is she who leads the last humans to survive, and she is also the hope of the last humans. Trunks has fought with Black Goku many times, and was saved by Xiao Wu several times after he failed and was injured. In Bulma's eyes, Xiao Wu is her daughter-in-law. It's just that when I think about it now, Xiao Wu is so old now. This means Xiao Wu is older than Goku. She has been following Pilaf all her life. She has taken many detours and has only matured after so many years. Logically speaking, if Trunks can marry her, his son will lose more. Just when Bulma was thinking, Son Goku shouted, "Rui stick, grow longer." Bulma's body trembled when she heard Goku's shout. She quickly reached out to stop Goku's Rui stick. Wait, Goku. Fortunately, Son Goku stopped when Bulma stopped him. Otherwise, this stick would not only smash the plane, but Xiao Wu would also be killed or fall off the plane. After being stopped by Bulma, Son Goku looked at her with a puzzled look. What's wrong, Bulma, why are you stopping me? If they run away, I can't hit them. Bulma breathed a sigh of relief. Goku, you should know how to sympathize with the weak. It's just a Dragon Ball. You still have one anyway. It's useless if they can't get 7. We have radar, we can find them back. Son Goku didn't actually want Xiao Wu and Ash's lives. After all, those two funny guys, plus their boss Pilaf, are pure comedy. It doesn't matter even if they realize their wish to rule the earth. The only way to rule the earth is to have absolute power. It's not much use to make a wish to Shenron, at most you can be a weak king. After hearing Bulma's theory, Goku nodded. That's right, we have 4-star balls. And Dragon Ball radar, it's easy to find them. Bulma put her hands on her hips and looked at the sky, with a hint of disappointment on her face. It's a pity that the somersault cloud was actually broken up by the shells, and we have no means of transportation. However, she was not too disappointed. In the previous life, Goku's somersault cloud was melted by the mucus spit out by Danbalin, and then he got the somersault cloud again. It was also at that time that Bulma knew that there were many somersault clouds on Karin Tower. It's just that there are too few pure people in this world, and few people can sit on it. Unexpectedly, Goku said, Bulma, you shout somersault cloud again, it's just broken up, maybe it can be restored. Bulma blinked curiously, and then she opened her throat and shouted. Somersault cloud. Sure enough, with a swish, the somersault cloud flew over from the sky again. Seeing that the somersault cloud came back intact, Bulma became excited. Ha ha ha, great, Goku, you guessed it right, the somersault cloud is still there. Great, we don't have to walk, ha 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 ha. As she said, Bulma turned over and jumped onto the somersault cloud. Goku, come on up, the somersault cloud is fast, let's go after the plane. Goku was stunned for a moment, then immediately jumped up. Here we go. Chapter 22 Beautiful Girl's Kiss. Pilaf's Castle. Xiao Wu and Ash both bowed to apologize. I'm sorry, Master Pilaf. We should have counted them at that time. Pilaf looked at the radar and smiled indifferently. It doesn't matter. The radar shows that the last Dragon Ball is coming towards us. It seems that they have already caught up. What? So fast. Xiao Wu and Ash looked at the radar in surprise. Really? Did they fix their cloud so quickly? Ash exclaimed. Not only that, they can also come to our direction accurately. As expected, they also have Dragon Ball radar. Xiao Wu also nodded in agreement. Yes, without the radar, they can't collect 6 Dragon Balls. It's just that they are too mean. They actually put 1 Dragon Ball alone. It makes us still short of 1, so hateful. Pilaf laughed. He, it doesn't matter. Anyway, we will soon have 7 Dragon Balls. Huh. It's so lonely. I, King Pilaf, have gone through hardships and can finally rule the world. Ha 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 ha. Suddenly, Xiao Wu stared at the Dragon Ball radar and was stunned. Lord Pilaf, look, they seem to be walking back. Pilaf. What's going on? Ash. Are they scared because our castle is too majestic? Pilaf's eyes lit up. What Ash said makes sense. There is no way. This king is very powerful and has a strong foundation. I can't hide even if I want to. I actually scared the prey away. What a pity. Ahahaha. Xiao Wu asked. Then, King Pilaf, what should we do? You two take the robot to chase, the Dragon Ball must be obtained. Yes, King. After that, the two ran quickly towards the machine room. On the cloud, Goku and Bulma both saw Pilaf's castle. They stopped in the sky not far from the castle. Bulma sighed. I didn't expect the distance to be so close. I reached their castle before I caught up. Son Goku turned his head and looked at Bulma. Advertisement. What should we do? Do we break in, or let me blow up the castle with Kamehameha? Just kidding. Let Goku blow up the castle, then they will all die. Although they stole the Dragon Ball, it's not a crime. Bulma looked at the environment, looked at the castle, and looked up at the sky. At this moment, the sunset has already fallen, and it will soon be dark. A bright moon hovered in the sky, half of its face blocked by the gauze-like clouds. Seeing this scene, Bulma suddenly remembered. Although there are some differences in history, they are surprisingly similar. On the night of searching for the last Dragon Ball in the previous life, many of them were trapped in Pilaf's castle. In desperation, Goku saw the full moon, transformed into a gorilla, and destroyed Pilaf's castle. It was Puer who transformed into a scissors and cut off Goku's tail to resolve the crisis. Now the full moon is about to come out, Goku still has a tail, it is easy to get into danger. She immediately said, Goku, let's not rush to find the Dragon Ball, it's dangerous here, let's leave first. With that, Bulma drove the somersault cloud away and flew in the opposite direction. Son Goku looked puzzled. Bulma, our Dragon Ball is about to be found, why do you want to leave? Are you worried that I can't beat them? Bulma quickly tore a strip of cloth from her clothes. Goku, let's play a game, okay. Bulma suggested in a playful tone. Son Goku looked at the strip of cloth and became even more confused. What game? Don't resist, close your eyes, and do as I say. Oh, Son Goku trusted Bulma very much, allowing Bulma to cover his eyes with a strip of cloth. What's the next step? Son Goku asked. As soon as the voice fell, Son Goku suddenly realized Bulma's intention, and he almost broke out in a cold sweat. After a quick calculation of the day, the full moon day has arrived. Could Bulma know that he would turn into a gorilla when he saw the full moon? Goku had doubts in his heart. He immediately tried hard to recall the scene of leaving Bowsy Mountain with Bulma. When leaving Bowsy Mountain with Bulma, Grandpa pulled Bulma aside and told her many things alone. At first, Goku thought he was telling Bulma to take care of himself. Now, he thought about it again, maybe it was related to his transformation on the full moon night. He had been with Son Gohan for more than 10 years, even if he deliberately avoided the moon. He still couldn't avoid the time of negligence. A flash of inspiration flashed through Goku's mind. Goku remembered that year, when his tail was broken and grew back. He definitely turned into a gorilla. Although he didn't remember what he did. He remembered that after waking up, in addition to the house being damaged, a lot of terrain on the mountain was also damaged. Moreover, on the day he woke up, his grandfather said that the house was damaged by a storm at night. And he took him to buy a capsule house during the day. It's a pity that he didn't have enough money, so he went back to the mountain to cut trees and built his own house. Now that I think about it, it wasn't a storm. That time, it must have been my transformation. And my grandfather discovered my secret. So later, in addition to deliberately avoiding the full moon night, his grandfather also cooperated with him and never took him out to play on the full moon night. So, when Bulma and himself left Bowsy Mountain, Grandpa told Bulma the secret again. Goku breathed a sigh of relief. It was as if he had finally figured out the cause and effect. He had been looking for the Dragon Ball these days, and he forgot that he could transform, which almost caused a disaster. Fortunately, Bulma was more careful than him and thought about him. At this moment, Goku suddenly felt a warm touch on his face. Son Goku was startled. He had an extremely sensitive sense of smell and clearly felt Bulma's scent. It was Bulma's kiss. Bulma, what are you doing? Bulma said. Goku, I remembered something. When I fell from the somersault cloud just now, you saved my life. So I want to congratulate you, you got the kiss of the beautiful girl. Chapter 23 Young people really know how to have fun. Goku knew that although Bulma's methods were a bit blunt and low intelligence, what she did was just to help him avoid seeing the moon. Grandpa had never told him that he could transform into a gorilla, but only told him that there were monsters on the night of the full moon and he should go to bed early. In fact, it was to protect his self-esteem and not let himself think that he was an alien. In fact, Goku knew it in his heart, and it was all silent care. In the original book, after Bulma saw Goku's transformation, she also guessed that it was Goku who lost his mind and killed his grandfather after the transformation, so she proposed to hide it from Goku. However, in this world, his grandfather is still alive and well. Although he can transform, he has not killed anyone so far. Bulma only needs to tell him about this matter. In fact, there is no need to hide it. No matter what arrangements Bulma has, just follow her wishes. Son Goku touched the face that Bulma had kissed, and asked, Bulma, I don't want the beautiful girl's kiss, can I change it for something delicious? Bulma saw that Goku did not struggle to tear off the blindfold, and her brows relaxed instantly, and said with a smile, you little devil, you actually still dislike my beautiful girl's kiss. When you reach the age you won't get it if you want it again. However, who asked you to save me? I can make an exception and change it for food. You just need to cover your eyes, and when you get to the place, you return this kiss to me, and I will treat you to a super meal, okay? Son Goku curled his lips. Give it back, Bulma, you are treating me like a child. Bulma choked immediately. This Goku is not stupid, it's a bit hard to coax him. Who knows, the next second, Goku gave him a way out. Goku continued, Bulma, since you said you can exchange for food. Then I won't be polite, I'm really hungry. Well, let me think. I want to eat 50 bowls of ramen tonight, how about it? Bulma was stunned. Want to eat ramen? Well, according to my appetite, I think at least 50 bowls are enough. During the day, when they passed the town of the Rabbit Army, there were several ramen restaurants. This is the nearest place Goku can think of where he can eat well and is not expensive. With the somersault cloud as a means of transportation, it is faster and only takes an hour to get there, which is very cost effective. Bulma nodded happily. Okay, then I'll treat you to ramen tonight. As only 50 bowls of ramen enough. If you don't take off the blindfold before going to bed tonight, I'll give you a plate of beef for each bowl of noodles, okay? Son Goku said happily. Add meat, of course I'll add meat. Don't worry, if you don't let me take it off, then I definitely won't take it off. Anyway, wearing an eye mask doesn't affect my sleep, and I won't take it off tonight. Bulma smiled faintly, and the somersault cloud accelerated again, turning into golden light and disappearing into the night. An hour later, Son Goku and Bulma arrived at Ichiraku Ramen shop smoothly. Everyone saw Goku with a strange shape and looked sideways. At this moment, Bulma bent down. Goku kissed her gently on the face. Then he immediately asked, Bulma, I've returned it to you, so, can we have dinner? Bulma smiled and said, yes, yes. After that, Bulma took out a thick stack of money. At least hundreds of thousands, and threw it to the boss arrogantly. Boss, a lot of ramen, add a piece of meat to each ramen. As long as I don't stop, you can have it. Seeing such a conceited customer, the boss responded excitedly, okay. After that, Bulma led Goku, who was wearing an eye mask, to find a seat to sit down. After the first ramen was served, Goku began to eat heartily. Bulma rested her chin on her hand and watched Goku eat with a smile on her face. The smile on her face never faded, which was quite like a rich woman doting on a young man. Others looked at Goku and Bulma, all of them were surprised and shocked. Goku was just a child. There are lipstick marks on his face, an eye patch, and a tail. You are a rich woman, so what? Come to me if you dare. After a while, Goku was full. Everyone's attention was not on the amount of food, but on Goku and Bulma. After Goku and Bulma left, the people in the ramen shop finally dared to speak. And several people took a breath. Are children playing so fancy these days? Who knows? That girl is so beautiful. Advertisement. I didn't expect such a pure girl to be so playful behind the scenes. I guess they must have gone to the hotel. Do you need to guess? Drooling with envy. The two walked to the street. Goku rubbed his full belly. Huh, thank you Bulma, I'm so full today. Bulma smiled and said, it's good to be full. Is this ramen delicious? Yeah, it's delicious. Bulma coaxed. Then I'll bring you here to eat ramen every month, okay? Goku, who was originally smiling, changed his expression and did not continue to follow Bulma's words. Bulma was stunned and asked nervously, Goku, what's wrong? Goku asked seriously, Grandpa told you that I will transform into a monster when I see a full moon, right? Bulma was startled. You know everything. Son Goku smiled and said, I'm not stupid, how could I not know? As long as you don't despise me for being a monster. Bulma responded immediately, you're not a monster. Goku nodded, I know you won't despise me. In fact, I'm also worried that I'll see the moon and turn into a monster and hurt you. How about this, let's find a hotel later and you cut my tail off. After the tail is cut off, as long as it hasn't grown out, it won't be dangerous. What? Goku smiled and looked at Bulma's face through the blindfold. But you'd better get me drunk, otherwise it will hurt me. Bulma's eyes flashed with an unspeakable emotion. A moment later, Bulma brought Goku to the hotel and took him upstairs. The people at the front desk were also shocked when they saw Goku's appearance and Bulma. Just when a few people at the hotel front desk were discussing that the two little guys were playing so much, Bulma came to the front desk. Everyone was silent. Bulma asked, excuse me, do you have any strong liquor with a higher alcohol content? Preferably the kind that makes you drunk as soon as you drink it. The front desk staff thought very quickly and immediately took out a bottle of very expensive liquor. Yes, of course, this liquor, commonly known as 3 cups to fall, is definitely a good helper for dating and flirting. It's just a bit expensive, it costs 80,000. Bulma smiled faintly, paid 100,000, and added, no need to change. Then she took the drinks upstairs. The people at the front desk took a breath of cold air again. Damn, such a beautiful girl is actually a rich woman. Question mark. I really envy that boy. Don't think about it, you have no chance. Don't you see that the boy is so young? This rich woman must be a Shotacon. Ah, what a pity. Chapter 24 Childhood Sweethearts. Originally, Xiao Wu and Ash were driving a robot, moving at high speed in the direction of the somersault cloud. Just when they were about to catch up, the somersault cloud suddenly accelerated. They could not see the trace of the somersault cloud in an instant. After a persistent pursuit, their robot finally ran out of energy. When the two walked back to Pilaf's castle, it was dawn. Pilaf knew that the two had come up empty-handed, and severely condemned the two for a long time. On the other side, after Goku and Bulma left, Ox King was urged by Chichi to propose marriage. Ox King had no choice but to find a plane. Carrying a bunch of gifts, carrying large and small bags, he took Chichi to Baozi Mountain to find Son Gohan to propose marriage to Chichi and Goku. However, the two found Son Goku and Gohan's home on the mountain, but found that Son Gohan was not at home. They opened the door and went in, and found that there was no dust in the house, and it seemed that he had been out for only 3 or 2 days. Ox King asked curiously, what's going on? Senior brother is fine, why isn't he at home? Could it be that senior brother is deliberately avoiding me? Ox King scratched his head. Seeing the spotless tables and chairs, Ox King showed a hint of anger on his face. He muttered to himself, my senior brother wouldn't think that my daughter looks like me. And is a big ugly BCH, so he deliberately avoids me, right? I've already said that my daughter takes after her mother, and is a little beauty. Oh, right, I don't think I told senior brother. Chichi blinked her big eyes and asked. Dad, when Goku was staying at our house the other day. He told me that Kame House is not far from Baozi Mountain, just over the sea. You said, did Son Goku's Grandpa Gohan go to Kame House? To visit Master Mutant. Or, should we also visit Master Mutant? Visit Master Mutant. Ox King touched his chin and thought for a while. Well, I forgot how many years I haven't seen the teacher. Now that we know his address, there is no reason not to visit him. As he said, Ox King drove the plane and turned to Kame House. With the approximate address, the two soon landed on Kame Island. Master Roshi looked at Chichi with curiosity, and said, Ox King, your daughter doesn't look like you at all. Ox King responded respectfully. Yes, the teacher is right, she looks like her mother, very cute. Master Roshi nodded and whispered, yeah, very cute. It's just too small, and there's no figure. It's not at the same level as the blue-haired girl next to Goku. Ox King was stunned. Teacher, what did you say? Master Roshi shook his head, and then said, nothing, I just said it casually. Since you are looking for someone, why don't you help me find someone? Ox King immediately said respectfully, it is my honor to work for you. Teacher, please tell me who you want to find. However, Chichi, who was traveling with him, was a little angry. Advertisement. She said to Master Roshi a little impolitely, hey, Master Wu Tian. We haven't found Son Gohan yet. You still want us to help you find someone. We young people are very busy. How can we have so much time? Master Roshi raised his eyebrows. Oh, the little girl is not big, but she has a bad temper. Ox King immediately stopped Chichi. Chichi, this is my teacher, be polite. Ox King asked Master Roshi respectfully again. Teacher, please tell me who you want me to help you find. Master Roshi stroked his beard and said, Gohan asked me to accept Goku as his apprentice. However, he went to help find the Dragon Ball, and I don't know where he is now. After he finds the Dragon Ball, please help me find Son Goku and let him come to learn martial arts from me. Today I saw you, especially Chichi, who has good qualifications. I have a new idea. It happens that Chichi is the same age as Goku. Anyway, I want to teach apprentices, and teaching one or two is the same. Why don't you bring Goku to me after you find him? And let Chichi learn martial arts from me for a while, how about it? Chichi's eyes brightened instantly. She said excitedly, it would be great to learn martial arts with Goku. Dad, let's go find Goku. Ox King was also smiling. Oh, Chichi, you are so lucky. Master Mutant never accepts disciples easily, why don't you kowtow to Master Mutant? Chichi was shocked and immediately knelt down and kowtowed to Master Roshi. Chichi greets Master Mutant. Master Roshi smiled and said, okay, there is no need to go through these useless etiquettes. You and Goku will be my disciples later, and there will be a test. Chichi blinked curiously. Soon, she and Ox King left Kame House. Dad, where do you think Goku will go? Ox King muttered. I don't know. But they are going to find the Dragon Ball. They will definitely not run around, there should be a trace to follow. Besides, Goku has had a tail since he was a child, which is different from others. They also have the somersault cloud. It should be easy to find them if we ask around. Chichi nodded. That's right. Dad, let's go find Goku quickly. I'm looking forward to training with Goku under Master Mutant. Oh, aren't you going to ask Gohan for marriage first? Chichi blushed. The book says that the feelings of childhood sweethearts are more reliable than the orders of parents. I think if I can spend some time with Goku, he will definitely fall in love with me. After saying that, Chichi buried her red face deeply. Ox King laughed. You're right, my daughter is so cute. As long as you spend some time together, Goku will definitely fall deeply in love with you. However, there is a strong competitor Bulma next to Goku. So, if you want Goku to like you more, you have to be gentler to him when you get along with him in the future. Okay, I understand. 25 I am his fiancé. The next day at dawn. Hotel. Goku opened his eyes as a strong aroma of delicious food came over him. Bulma had set up a small table on the side, which was filled with all kinds of delicious food. Goku sat up. Bulma, you got up so early. Bulma also looked up at the bed and smiled. You're awake. I was going to wake you up. It's late. I gave you a bottle of wine yesterday, and it's already noon now. Really, it's already noon. Goku looked up at the window. The sun was so bright. Bulma said, okay, Goku, wash your hands and face, and eat quickly. Yeah, after that, Goku got out of bed. Then he fell flat on his face. Bulma was startled. What's wrong, Goku? Oh, I'm a little uncomfortable without my tail all of a sudden. Then shall I help you? No, I can do it myself. After that, Goku got up again. Unexpectedly, he fell flat on his face again. Bulma stepped forward and helped Goku up. She consoled him. Don't worry. You've been used to the existence of your tail to keep your balance for so many years. You will definitely not be able to adapt to it after losing your tail. You just need to adapt to it in a few days. Goku nodded. Yes, I know. After that, Bulma helped Goku wash up and then went back to the table to eat. After lunch, Bulma helped Goku leave the hotel again. The hotel staff saw Goku limping and was helped away by Bulma again, and they took a breath of cold air again. FK. Did you see that? The girl is fine, but the boy is limping. Curious, he's only that old, he's still a child, how can he have that ability? Ha ha ha, so exciting. I've never seen such a thing before, this is the first time I've seen a man limping out of a hotel. But why is the boy covering his butt? Hey, have you forgotten the tale? Oh, I remember. Advertisement. It must be that rich woman who played with the plug-in crazily and broke the child. Haha, young people really know how to play. What is this called? Beauty and the Beast. Is it Beauty and the Beast? Hee, I'm so happy. It seems that there is no free lunch in the world. The love of rich women is also heavy. Ahahahaha. Just after several people discussed for an hour, Ox King walked into the hotel with Chichi. Everyone fell silent. The huge height difference between Ox King and Chichi made several people in the hotel gasp. They all had some self-doubt. What's going on recently? It's always this abnormal CP. The front desk clerk immediately asked. Hello, are you staying in the hotel? Our hotel has recently launched a mood bedroom, only 998, would you like to take one? Ox King did not answer, but asked. We are not staying in the hotel, we are here to ask about someone. Has your hotel recently received a little boy with a long tail, and a woman with blue hair? Several people at the front desk were suddenly shocked. Ox King saw the sudden change in the expressions of several people at the front desk, and instantly understood. Chichi immediately became excited and asked. Seeing your expressions change, you must have seen Goku, are they in this hotel? Everyone fell silent. Disclosing the privacy of customers is not a good thing. Who knows? Ox King slapped the table. My daughter is asking you, answer quickly. The person in charge of the front desk was nervous, and then said with a stiff face, sorry, our hotel has its own rules. Besides, due to professional standards, the privacy of guests must be kept confidential. As soon as the voice fell, Ox King's face turned pale. The hotel manager was worried that Ox King would destroy the hotel, so he immediately came over to smooth things over. Excuse me, both of you, what is your relationship with the person who asked the question? In principle, we cannot tell strangers about the privacy of guests. But if it is an acquaintance, Chichi immediately blushed and explained. Then I will tell you my identity. I am Son Goku's wife who has not yet married. Hearing Chichi's words, everyone was shocked again. This melon is ripe. The manager confirmed again. You mean, the little boy with a tail on his butt is called Son Goku, and he is your husband-to-be. Chichi was overjoyed when he heard him speak so accurately. Yes, he really lives here. Then, which room is he in? Tell me quickly. Sorry, you came at the wrong time. At noon, the man named Son Goku left with the blue-haired woman you mentioned. However, it has been more than an hour since they left. Ox King was shocked. Just an hour. Yes, an hour. If we chase them, we should be able to catch up, right? Chichi asked. Which direction did they go? The manager immediately pointed to the west and said. The woman called a golden cloud and flew away in the west. Somersault cloud, it was them. Dad, let's chase them. Okay. Chapter 26 Father-in-law takes daughter to catch an adulterer. Chichi and Ox King walked out of the hotel, and hurriedly drove the plane, all the way to the west. The hotel staff breathed a sigh of relief when they saw Ox King walking away. The front desk manager was sweating coldly. I feel that this melon is too big. It's a pity that we can't eat it in front of him. It's hard to imagine that the child who was ravaged by the rich woman is actually the fiancé of this cute little girl. The most terrifying thing is that he is obviously engaged, but he still looks for a rich woman. Isn't it too shameless? The big guy just now turned out not to be the little girl's lover. But her father, he doesn't look like him. How can I say it? The size difference is too big. I even doubt whether the little girl is his biological child. Hey, you and I doubt it too. However, although her father looks fierce, he seems to love his daughter very much. Yes. If the father and daughter find the blue-haired rich woman and the child, what will happen? Everyone took a breath again. It's scary just to think about it. Being caught by the father-in-law and fiancé, and then beaten to death. Hiss. Pilaf's castle. You two losers, if you can't find the Dragon Ball at night, I will punish you too. Replying to the king, we will definitely find it this time. Suddenly, the radar beeped. Wait a minute, the radar shows that the Dragon Ball is coming towards us at a high speed. Oh, really? Haha, it's easy to find it after searching everywhere. Since they are looking for death, let's fight. Xiao Wu, Ash. Here, X2. Xiao Wu and Ash stood straight. Do you have the confidence to punish them and get the Dragon Ball? Yes, X2. At the entrance of Pilaf's castle, Xiao Wu and Ash each drove a giant steel robot, waiting to fight Son Goku and take the Dragon Ball. A moment later, Bulma and Goku arrived here. Xiao Wu laughed while holding the microphone. How dare you come to our King Pilaf's territory? You are really asking for trouble. As he spoke, the two huge robots took a few steps forward and blocked Bulma and Son Goku. Ash laughed in the machine. Hey, you two, if you don't want to die, hand over the Dragon Ball. Advertisement. My king can spare your life. Bulma's mouth corners raised high, and she turned to look at Goku. Goku, be careful not to hurt anyone's life. Beat them in Pilaf, and get the Dragon Ball back. Son Goku nodded. Don't worry, I know my limits. As he spoke, Goku rolled up his sleeves and walked towards the robot. It was not difficult for Goku, who was now so powerful, to defeat these three clowns. Bulma put his hands in his pockets, stepped back a few steps, and watched Goku fight with them quietly. Seeing that Goku dared to attack, Ash gritted his teeth and said angrily, "If you don't accept my offer, watch out." As he spoke, Ash controlled the robot and swung his huge fist towards Goku. Goku jumped lightly and easily dodged the attack. The mechanical fist hit the ground like a hammer, and a violent sound broke out, and the whole earth shook 3 times. Xiao Wu laughed. "Ha ha ha ha, did you see it? Lord Pilaf's robot is very powerful, and the power of one punch is several tons. This punch even shook the earth. Fortunately, you dodged it, otherwise I would smash you into a pulp in one go. I advise you to hand over the Dragon Ball honestly. It's not worth losing your life for the Dragon Ball." Ash also laughed wildly. "That's right, I advise you to submit to the power of Master Pilaf and hand over the Dragon Ball." Son Goku smiled and said, "What's the matter with strength? I'll play with you." As he said that, Son Goku pulled out the Rui stick and pointed it at Ash. The next moment, Goku stepped on the ground and rushed towards Ash's robot. Ash was shocked. He didn't expect Son Goku to dare to fight the huge robot with his flesh and blood. He immediately controlled the robot to fight back. However, the next second, the Rui stick stretched out. Son Goku swung the lengthened Rui stick and swept it towards the robot. The Rui stick is also a treasure, much stronger than steel. In an instant, the Rui stick swept across the robot with a strong gust of wind. The next moment, Goku was already standing firmly on the ground. Ash still didn't understand. What happened? Suddenly, the robot made an abnormal sound and the control was not working. Ash's body also began to tilt. What's going on? Zzz. Crack, crack. The sound of mechanical breakdown came, and Ash's robot was split into 2. Only a control room was left on the upper body, and Ash fell with the control room. Before Ash landed, Son Goku picked up the stick again and hit the huge machine body on the lower body. The Rui stick whistled towards the robot with a strong wind. The next moment, the Rui stick tore the lower half of the robot into 2. With more rapid electric current sounds and bursting electric sparks, the robot exploded with a bang. The upper body of the robot was submerged in the smoke and dust. After the smoke and dust, Ash, who was charred by the explosion, sat on the ground in a daze. Xiao Wu on the side was shocked, knowing that even with the robot, she was no match for Goku. So she immediately drove the robot away. Unexpectedly, Son Goku reacted very quickly, and the Rui stick became longer again, breaking the robot's leg with one stick. Soon, Xiao Wu's robot also exploded. She also crawled out of the mechanical ruins in a panic. Chapter 27 Shenron is born. Bulma walked up to the 2 of them and faced Pilaf's castle. She shouted, "Pilaf, if you don't want to lose 2 of your men, give me all 6 Dragon Balls." There was a voice of resistance from Pilaf's castle immediately. "Just 2 useless men. They can't even do this. I don't want them anymore. I want to see what you can do to me." Ash and Xiao Wu were both in tears. "No, King Pilaf, don't abandon us." However, Bulma showed a sly smile. "Really?" Pilaf continued to be stubborn. "Yes, just 2 useless men. If you don't want them, then don't want them." Bulma looked at Goku and said, "Goku, tear down the castle for me." As he spoke, Son Goku walked towards the castle with the Rui stick. In an instant, countless rocket launchers emerged from the castle and suddenly bombarded Son Goku. However, the ground continued to explode, but Son Goku's footsteps did not stop for a moment. As Goku jumped to avoid a rocket, his hands were tightly clasped together, forming a calyx shape, and placed at his waist. Came. Pi, Kai, Gong. A dazzling white light suddenly lit up, and as Son Goku pushed with both hands, a wave of energy suddenly blasted towards the castle. In an instant, billowing smoke and dust completely submerged the castle. A moment later, Pilaf got out of the castle in a panic. Bulma took the Dragon Ball radar and found the remaining 6 Dragon Balls. Great, 7 Dragon Balls are complete. Son Goku nodded and said, "Bulma, hurry up and summon Shenron to make a wish." Pilaf, Xiao Wu and Ash on the side looked at Bulma holding 7 Dragon Balls. And their eyes were filled with greed. Pilaf whispered to Ash and Xiao Wu, as if he was arranging some top-secret plan. Xiao Wu and Ash were shocked. The 2 said gratefully, "King Pilaf, I knew you wouldn't abandon us." Xiao Wu continued, "King, as long as we unite as one, we will definitely be able to make a comeback in the future and rule the world." Ash, "Yes, we will succeed, King Pilaf." Pilaf smiled mischievously. "No need for the future, follow my plan, maybe it will succeed in a while." The 2 nodded seriously immediately. However, at this moment, Bulma looked at the 3 of them. "Goku, help me watch them, I will make a wish at a farther distance. Otherwise, I am worried that after summoning Shenron, they will come and snatch the wish." Goku nodded. "Okay, I know, go ahead." After saying that, Son Goku poked the Rui stick, which directly inserted 3 inches into the ground, raising a cloud of dust. "You 3 guys, don't have any tricks, otherwise my stick will not spare you, understand?" The Pilaf trio in front of them were so scared that their anus tightened and nodded one after another. I know. Bulma was meticulous and did not miss a single thing. Letting Goku watch them, the 3 people's trick was completely defeated. Pilaf lowered his head in disappointment. Xiao Wu comforted him. "King Pilaf, don't worry. We can still find Dragon Ball in a year." Advertisement. Pilaf nodded. Yes, Xiaowu makes sense. Not far away. As Bulma chanted a spell, a golden light suddenly shot up into the sky. The originally clear blue sky was suddenly covered with dark clouds and turned into a dark night. Under the deep night sky, a bright golden light suddenly broke through the sky. Like a falling meteor, but brighter and more shocking than a meteor. A green Shenron hovered in the sky, revealing scarlet and majestic eyes. Shenron said, "Those who have collected 7 Dragon Balls, tell us your wish. Any wish can be fulfilled." Looking at the long-lost Shenron, Bulma showed joy on his face. She turned her head to look at Son Goku in the distance, who was watching the Pilaf trio closely, and then looked up at Shenron. "Shenron, please make Son Goku never sick." "Okay, I got it." The red light in Shenron's eyes became brighter, and an invisible energy fell on Son Goku not far away. The next second, Shenron said, "Your wish has come true." "Well, goodbye." Bulma breathed a sigh of relief and responded, "Goodbye." Shenron turned into golden light and drilled into the Dragon Ball. The next moment, 7 Dragon Balls shot out in 7 directions. And after disappearing, they turned into the color of stone. The dark clouds in the sky dissipated, and the sky returned to a clear sky. Bulma and Goku also let Pilaf and the other two go. Goku asked, "Bulma, did your wish to cure your friend come true?" Bulma nodded with a smile. "Yes, it came true." "That's good." Bulma looked at Son Goku with curved eyebrows. And asked, "Goku, don't you want to know who I wish to cure?" "I'm not interested." Bulma shrugged. Said, "Okay. By the way, Goku, I see that you have had a hard time practicing along the way, I suggest you go to a good place." Son Goku asked, "Where?" Bulma said, "The person with the highest martial arts in the world today is Master Mutant. We met him a few days ago. He is the Master Roshi who gave us the somersault cloud. I suggest you go to him to learn martial arts, which will definitely help you improve your martial arts. As for the somersault cloud, I'll give it to you, it can take you to Master Roshi." Chapter 28 For My daughter's marriage. Son Goku was originally going to learn from Master Roshi, but Bulma actually brought it up. Then he just had to follow Bulma's wishes and save himself the trouble. Goku looked at Bulma and asked, "I'm going to Kame House, what about you?" "I only have a few days left in my summer vacation, and I'm going back to the west to catch up on my homework. Besides, I've been out for so long, I miss my parents." Strictly speaking, Bulma hasn't seen his parents for more than 20 years, so he naturally misses home. Goku nodded again. "Oh, yeah, you're a girl. It's your first time to go out for such a long time, you should miss home. You are better than most boys. By the way, don't give me the somersault cloud, after all, you need to go back to Exedu. I know the way to Kame House. I can run there while exercising." Bulma smiled, bent down to help Goku tidy up his clothes. Said, "It's okay, anyway, you and I have nothing to do in a hurry. How about this, you accompany me to Exedu. Stay at my house for 2 days, and then you can go to Kame House to practice. You know, our house is big. Exedu is a more prosperous city, with many delicious foods. After arriving at my house, I plan to be a good host and take you to eat all the food in Exedu." "Eat all the food in Exedu, is it true? That would be great." Son Goku smiled. Bulma continued, "Also, I'll give you the somersault cloud. When you've had enough fun, take the somersault cloud to Kame House." Just as Goku was about to refuse, Bulma interrupted him immediately. "Don't be polite with me. When I return to the West City, I can fly a plane. I don't lack transportation. But you can't. If there's something urgent, it's too inconvenient to not have a means of transportation." Son Goku smiled dumbly. Indeed, let alone that he hasn't learned the flying technique yet. Even if he has learned it, with the current combat power, flying is very slow and consumes a lot of physical energy. For him, the somersault cloud is still the best means of transportation. "Okay, you're still thoughtful, then I'll listen to you." Bulma smiled sweetly. "Of course, I'm the daughter of a scientist, IQ 250. There's nothing to do here, why don't we set off back to the West City now?" Yeah, after that, the two took the somersault cloud and headed straight for the West City. A few minutes ago, Chichi and Ox King were still flying west, looking for Goku. Advertisement. "Hey, we only know the direction, but we don't know where they landed. It's really hard to find them." Chichi said, "Dad, if there is another town ahead, let's go down and check it out." Okay. As soon as the voice fell, the sky suddenly darkened. The originally clear blue sky was now covered with dark clouds, and lightning flashed in the dark clouds. "Oh, is it going to rain?" The weather forecast said there would be no rain in this area. Ox King looked at the sky, a little hesitant. This black cloud came too abruptly. Chichi looked at the black clouds in the sky, and suddenly caught a glimpse of a golden light in the distance. "Dad, look, what is that?" The bull demon took off his sunglasses and rubbed his eyes, but still couldn't see. "No, it's too far, I can't see clearly." Chichi had a flash of guess. The weather suddenly turned dark, it's so strange. Could it be that Goku and the others gathered 7 Dragon Balls, summoned Shenron, and are making a wish? Ox King blinked. Indeed, the weather change is too abrupt, obviously abnormal. From what you said, it seems to be the case. Chichi immediately urged. "Dad, hurry up, drive faster. Chase them quickly, don't let them get away." Ox King nodded. "Well, Chichi, fasten your seat belt." After that, the plane shot towards the golden light at maximum power. Originally, Chichi and Ox King were heading west. And Exodus was even further west. There was no possibility of them colliding at all, and as expected, Ox King and Chichi missed. The two stood outside the ruins of Pilaf Castle, with sad faces. Ox King consoled him, Chichi, Goku and his friends have found the Dragon Ball, and it's hard to say what they'll do next. It's hard to find them now. Why don't we go back first? Chichi looked disappointed, and said like a child, no, I want to find Goku. Ox King scratched his head in distress. How can I find him? Dad doesn't know how to tell fortunes. The world is so big, unless you can tell where he went, how can you find him? Chichi asked curiously, is there no famous fortune teller in the world? Ox King scratched his head. When you ask, it seems like I've heard of it before. Let me think about it. Suddenly, an idea flashed. Ox King slapped his thigh. Oh, I remember now. Teacher Wu Tian's sister is called the fortune teller. As long as it exists in this world, she can predict anything she wants to find, including people. Chi-Chi's eyes lit up. Really? Then let's go find the fortune teller first. Wait a minute, let's go home first and bring some treasures. I heard that the fortune teller needs a lot of money to help people with divination. Chi-Chi smiled and said, oh, I see, Dad is really thoughtful, let's go. After that, the father and daughter flew towards the Flame Mountain. For his daughter's marriage, Ox King fought hard. Chapter 29 Bulma's Social Bull Parents. Half a day later, Bulma brought Goku to the West Capital, Capsule Company. The two stepped into the yard. A robot greeted Bulma. Miss, you are back. Yeah, Bulma replied casually. Bulma, your house is really big, there are dinosaurs in the yard. Son Goku wiped the corner of his mouth and said. Bulma nodded. Yeah, yes, there are also many cats and dogs, all picked up by my father from nearby. Your father likes small animals very much. Yeah, that's right, there are animals every meal. The two of them walked for a while and came to the door of the laboratory. At this moment, they happened to meet Dr. Brief riding a bicycle. Bulma was very happy to see her father. After all, she had experienced a rebirth and hadn't seen him for more than 20 years. However, Goku was around, and it was not convenient to be too close to her father, which would easily neglect Goku. Moreover, in this world, she and her father had only been separated for more than half a month. She could only suppress her inner ecstasy and said calmly, Dad, I'm back. Brief's expression was also very calm. Oh, Bulma is back so early, hey, who is this person? Brief pointed at Son Goku and asked. Bulma introduced. Let me introduce you, this is my good friend, Son Goku, although he is small, but his martial arts are very high, thanks to him for protecting me all the way. Brief was surprised. Well, your name is Son Goku. That's really good. It seems that your martial arts are really powerful. However, you are small and cute. Brief turned his head to look at Bulma, and said, Bulma, Dad lacks care for you. I didn't expect that you have such a unique taste and actually like such a small boyfriend. Are you a pedophile? Even though Bulma has lived 2 lives, she blushed in an instant when she heard Brief's words. She wanted to explain that he was not her boyfriend. But, she likes the grown-up Goku, and it's hard to refute. Although she didn't admit that she wanted to be Goku's girlfriend in the future. She didn't want to say to Goku in front of him that he was not her boyfriend. She wanted to play the cultivation game. And Goku was a little socially anxious in his previous life and didn't like to talk. Hearing Brief's shocking words, he was speechless for a while. Seeing that the two of them didn't talk, Brief once again put on a familiar look. Walked towards Son Goku with a smile, and whispered, Hey, Goku, did you kiss? Even though the voice was very low, Bulma still heard it clearly. She quickly pulled Goku away and yelled at her father with a red face. Dad, what are you doing? Don't talk nonsense, he's still a child. Brief looked indifferent. Bulma, don't be so fierce, girls should be gentle. Bulma's face turned red again, and she even felt a little socially dead because of having such a father. She continued to yell. With a father like you, I can't be gentle. Brief asked again. Oh, by the way, Bulma, didn't you say you were going to find the Dragon Ball? How is it? Did you find it? Hearing Brief change the subject, Bulma let out a deep breath. I found it, and I came back after making a wish. Brief smiled. Oh, it's really all together. It seems that Shenron really exists. Bulma said proudly. Of course it exists. Brief continued. Then next time you go to find the Dragon Ball, can you help Dad make a wish? What wish do you want? Bulma asked. Brief said seriously. Dad wants a tall and gentle woman. In just a moment, Bulma's anger could not be suppressed again. Dad, there are outsiders here, you should be more restrained. Why are you in such a hurry? He is your boyfriend, not an outsider. Bulma yelled. Who said he is my boyfriend? Brev blinked. Isn't it? Advertisement. Bulma turned her head with an unnatural look on her face and said nothing more. Brev came close to Goku and said, Hey, Goku, since Bulma is not your girlfriend, then she can't control you. Wait until the evening. Uncle will take you to a one-stop bath, okay. Today, Uncle will treat you, you can order as many princesses as you want. Son Goku's mouth twitched. Uncle, I am still young, so I won't go. In front of Bulma, he was going to take Goku to that kind of place. Bulma's anger soared to the peak. Just when she was about to explode on the spot. Mr. Brief took out a capsule and gave it to Goku. Bulma is right, you are just a child. I won't take you to that kind of place. But as an elder, you have to give something when you meet for the first time. This is a gift. Goku took the capsule in a daze. Thank you. Bulma's anger was successfully suppressed and reduced. And continued to ask. Dad, what did you give him? Who knows? Brief came to Son Goku's ear and whispered. This is the latest Dongri photo album, limited edition. Don't show it to Bulma, wait until you return to your room and read it secretly. Son Goku was startled and almost fell down. His heart has been ups and downs since he came here, it's too exciting. He didn't expect that Bulma's father Brief was so coquettish that he almost sprained his waist. Although Brief's voice was not loud, Bulma still heard it. She snatched the capsule from Goku's hand and threw it far away with force. The universal capsule penetrated the glass and flew into the vast yard through the window. Then Bulma said to Goku with a fierce face, I can't stand it. Goku, don't learn bad things from my dad, let's go. Bulma really couldn't communicate with Brief anymore, so she pulled Goku inside. Goku's scalp was already numb, and when he saw Bulma finally pulling him away, he quickly followed her and left this dangerous place. Chapter 30 Bulma is not easy. Soon, Goku followed Bulma into the living room. As soon as Bulma entered the house, she began to look through the refrigerator. Goku, forget what my father just said and did. He is such a frivolous person. Yeah, I know, but uncle is fun. What's fun? You don't know. I am the only normal person in our family. Are you thirsty? Do you want something to drink? Son Goku looked around their house casually and answered casually, whatever. Tisk tisk, whatever is the hardest. Fortunately, I found someone to invest and invented a drink called whatever. Before Bulma took out the drink, Mrs. Brief came in with 2 cups of transparent liquid. Her golden curly hair, iconic smile, a pair of squinting eyes that never changed. And her always kind smile made Goku couldn't help but look at her carefully. Mrs. Brief smiled and said, Bulma brought her friends. Welcome, welcome. Son Goku immediately stood up and greeted Mrs. Brief. Hello, Mrs. Brief. Mrs. Brief said with a smile. Nice to meet you, I'm Bulma's mother. Mrs. Brief bent down and asked. Well, what's your name? Son Goku. Son Goku, that's a good name. So, little Goku, do you want to drink some wine? Bulma's forehead was bulging with veins. Mom, don't let children drink. Seeing Bulma's exasperated look, Mrs. Brief's expression did not change at all. She still said with squinting eyes, my daughter is noisy and has a bad temper. It should be the rebellious period. Goku, don't mind it. Son Goku immediately shook his head. No, I don't mind it. Mrs. Brief responded. It's good that you don't mind. I heard that you found the Dragon Ball, right? Son Goku nodded. Yes, I found it. After we fulfilled our wish, we came back. Bulma said she would take me to play in Exedu for 2 days. After a few days, I will continue to practice. Mrs. Brief covered her mouth and smiled. Oh, haha. Your adventure sounds really interesting. I didn't expect Shenron really exists. Next time you go on an adventure, take Mom with you, okay? Mom also wants a handsome boyfriend to play with. Son Goku's face froze, although he knew that his parents were both community bullies. But, this community bully level was too outrageous. I really couldn't understand how Bulma grew up. In a short moment, not only Goku's scalp was numb. Even Bulma was almost driven crazy by her extreme parents. Bulma sighed. Oh, what a trait you two have. Advertisement. Your daughter has grown up so big and still has such a positive outlook. God bless you, Mrs. Brief said with a smile. Yes, you were able to give birth to her, thanks to God's blessing. I was going to break up with your father and decided to abort you. Who knew that I aborted you 3 times and failed? So I decided to give birth to you. Bulma was reborn and deeply felt the disparity of life. However, Bulma is a few years older than her parents in terms of her mental age. She didn't take it to heart. Her parents are that kind of people, and they have always lived with a game-like attitude. After meeting her parents, Bulma's heart that missed them was completely crushed. But fortunately, Goku is with her these days. She wants to take Goku to eat all over the West Capital, visit all over the West Capital, and enjoy a few days of leisure and comfort. The next day, in the bustling West Capital, the sun cast mottled light and shadows through the layers of buildings, and the air was filled with the tempting aroma of various delicacies. Bulma took Goku along, shopping and eating all the way. Bulma and Goku checked in at countless food places, including barbecue stalls, dessert shops, seafood feasts, special snacks, hamburgers, pizza, pasta, sushi. Bulma accompanied little Goku like a girlfriend. With him, she also let herself go. As long as she wanted to try any food, she would buy it and try it. If it didn't taste good, she would just stuff it to Goku. If it tasted good, she would eat it happily. A few days passed in a blink of an eye. The happiness of these days made her forget the time of food shortage for more than 20 years at the end of the world. Goku, who followed Bulma all the way, was a little indulgent these days. His stomach was round every day. It was obviously a Saiyan stomach, which was bottomless. But Bulma still held him up, which was really not easy. Goku had to do a set of boxing every day to digest his food. However, happy times are always short-lived. Bulma soon reached the time to go to school. Goku also had to leave this city with abundant food and clothing. However, Bulma was afraid that he would suffer in Kame House in the future. So before he left, she prepared a lot of supplies for him. There were delicious food, clothes for spring, summer, autumn and winter, quilts, and even a portable house. Son Goku didn't bother with her, and went straight to Kame House with a box of universal capsules. 3 days later, Ox King and Chichi came to the fortune-telling grandmother's place. Son Gohan happened to be a security guard here. When the brothers met, they immediately started chatting. Son Gohan was not good at talking, and after communicating with Ox King for a while, he finally knew that Goku's adventure was over. He also knew that Chichi liked Goku, and Ox King wanted to help his daughter propose marriage. However, Son Gohan kicked the matter back to Goku. In addition, Gohan also knew that they came here to find Goku and go to Kame House to practice together. So, in Gohan's face, the fortune teller did not give a penny discount and helped Ox King to predict the whereabouts of Son Goku for a fee. After learning that Son Goku actually went directly to Kame House, the two of them went straight to Kame House without stopping.